naturalpathicgroup.com.
My pain is considerable, but that prescription is dangerous.
The side effects of my medicine are worse than my condition.
I'm in recovery. I can't take those pills.
When faced with a health crisis, you shouldn't have to choose between risks.
At the Naturopathic Physicians Group in Scottsdale, our medical doctors are experts in full spectrum care using a natural approach. Patients come in for a variety of issues, including joint pain, chronic conditions, and issues specific to men's and women's health. Our naturopathic doctors can restore pain-free joint function and restore balance in immune, digestive, and hormone systems, which often improves immediate physical symptoms without having you take a bunch of pills. If traditional medicines aren't working, don't you think it's time to start feeling like yourself again? Call Naturopathic Physicians Group at 480-451-6161. That's 480-451-6161. Or go to naturopathicgroup.com.
My name is Mary Grace. Early diagnosis is key, but make no mistake, it is a devastating disease.
For more information, contact us at alz.org or through the 24/7 helpline at 800-272-3900. Sponsored by the Alzheimer's Association.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K257CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K240 EU Mountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
All right, people, settle down.
Because it's time.
Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's Thursday here on the Daily Blender. I'm your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White. We got Keon Rose in the control room, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, broadcasting live in the Harman Solar Studios in Scottsdale. And, more games are getting canceled, and with the Vikings and the Rams supposed to play Monday, they are still, they're still watching it. Do we know what how will we know when it's going to be in Arizona and when it's going to be? Did they say it'll be today? Will it be tomorrow? Where's the drop dead date?
I could probably answer that for you, Jeff. What's happened is there's a wildfire in California, and it's burning up Los Angeles. And what's happened is it's just a mile or so away from the SoFi Stadium, so they want to move that game from SoFi over to here.
So, Randy, we were actually here the last few days. We already know all that. That's not news to us. But what we're trying to determine is when will they make the final decision? They have not fully decided to move the game to State Farm Stadium yet. They said they're closely monitoring it. And if they feel like they have to, then they will. So I don't know where that sort of line of no going back is, you know what I'm saying? Because they can't decide Sunday morning. So
probably going to happen Sunday morning. Probably.
They can't do that Sunday morning. Keon, have you seen anything about this that indicates, where's the deadline to decide?
I have not seen that. No, I think that the NFL, from what I understand, the NFL actually, when they have their backup plans and stuff in place, they usually don't let you know this early. They try to wait as long. Why not? Because they try to wait as long as they can, because they'd rather the game be played in the host city, on the home city. Like I think
knowing when the deadline is doesn't affect that.
Yeah, but I don't think that they have a specific one. They're
just making it up as they go.
Yes, but I do think that they also realize, and that's the thing. Like the reason they've put out this information that it could be played here. They put it out earlier than they normally do. They usually keep that close to the chest longer, which means
they probably are going
they probably are going to do it here
now,
because they realize not just of what's going on, like in terms of is there going to be smoke in the air and things like that when the players are playing, but also you're pulling firemen away from things. You're pulling EMTs away. You're pulling police away from where they could actually be helping people if you play that game there, because all of that stuff is required for an NFL game to go on.
Now, my sources tell me that there's a lot of blue and gold paint that's been delivered to State Farm Stadium.
Yeah, I don't think they would do that. Do you think they'd actually paint the field for this?
A lot of blue and gold
the
paint.
field, yeah, they probably
No, I mean,
Yeah.
just put an A, just put A on one end zone, B on the other, so you know which one. Because it's just the Vikings, just the Rams.
A lot of blue and gold.
It's just a
paint.
14-win football team.
My
out there.
sources are telling
matter.
me.
Just, maybe a 1 and then a 2 at the other end.
Yeah, I don't think that's how they're going to do it.
It's not going to happen. They
you know what I would do? I would be petty if I were the owner of the Cardinals. And if I was running anything, there'd be one end zone that just said home, and the other end zone would say away, and I'd be like, "Yeah, that's what we're doing.
No,
that's what we're doing.
Because this is a home game for the Los Angeles,
but it's an away game for the other team. So you home and away. What?
Yeah,
I don't know. That's why I'm not allowed to be in charge of anything. Robert from Surprise says, "I have an idea. Why don't they cancel the game and those healthy athletes could help the firefighters dig fire lines and be useful for once."
They're not qualified to do. What are you talking about?
You mean they can't dig holes?
I think everybody's qualified to dig a line.
Okay. So then why not just get any athletic person in the area? Why does it have to be
just get any people in the area?
Yeah. What? Yeah. Why does it have to be specifically the football players? I don't understand.
It's Robert from Surprise's class envy. The class warfare. So he wants to see those guys go do that, because he will then feel better.
It's just not as helpful as you'd think. Like an NFL, they
you hand them a shovel, they're like,
no, it's just that when you're talking about, hey, like dig these holes and follow these instructions and know where you're going and know the chain of command. Like there are more things than just the digging.
You're digging a hole.
Yeah, there's also the throwing the dirt. That's important. You got to get a rhythm for that.
It's just silly. In fact, why not cancel all the playoff games and have all the football players do it? Like, what are you talking about, man?
What a great idea.
There's a lot of, like, my team's not playing. They could go.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah.
My team's not playing.
All the teams are at
I
home.
think these big dopes would probably get in the way. I think that's probably why they shouldn't do this.
It's just that there are people who know what how this stuff is organized. They know exactly what it is that they're doing. I'm sure they're not just digging holes. They're doing more things than that.
Hole digging is organized.
Also true.
Is that what you're saying?
I mean, for these guys, it is. When you're digging a fire line, you have to actually know what the hell you're doing and what fire is going to do to try to get ahead of it and try to stop it from spreading. So it's not just digging the holes. And Robert from Surprise, I'd say the majority of these NFL players don't have that knowledge. So probably not as simple as you're trying to make it.
It's an emergency situation. They're not just digging holes just to dig them.
Bat Flipper says, I digged holes in my 20s. And I, you know what? I would bet you're still digging holes if you said I digged holes. I have a feeling you're still in the line of work, if that's what you call it. Let's see. Robert from Surprise says, it was a sarcastic suggestion. Well, you didn't use sarcastic.
Yeah, it's like you texted a thing, and then what was supposed to find the sarcasm was implied. How exactly?
I'm still hoping somebody comes up with Sarcastica as a font.
Well, somehow Moistwood actually got it to work. The italics is what I said. Sarcastica should be
okay,
and he was able to send something in, but I think he's the only one. Robert says, no, Siri didn't express my facial expressions when I said it.
Gee, I wonder why.
I don't think that's programmed to do that. Big George says, the problem is not that we don't have enough firefighters, it's that we ran out of water in the fire hydrants because the government ineptitude with not properly maintaining the fire hydrants. All right, I can give you that. But I think that's more about water not getting to them.
Yeah, but I still think that there are people who need to be evacuated, people who need to be moved. And if you pull police officers and you pull EMTs away from that to be security at a football game, that can't be helpful.
Yeah, you ever watch Billionaires or Billions or whatever that show is?
I saw a little bit of it.
The main character during 9/11 saw what was happening from another building, and he just started making phone calls and shorting stocks, and he made tons of money doing it when all his friends were dying and stuff. I felt a little bit like that when I looked at all this that was going on, and two thoughts came to my mind, and I feel guilty for having them, but that they are fair thoughts. One, our property values are about to go up because poop load of people from California are moving here. And the second part is, damn it, a poop load of people from California are moving here.
Yep.
So that was the two thoughts I had that I feel a little bit guilty about.
Yeah,
but
they're not great thoughts.
No, but it's honest thoughts. I mean, I'm just like, oh no, we're going to get overrun with Californians because rebuilding there is going to be nearly impossible. A lot of jobs are now gone from there. And, the houses here are less expensive. And if they don't get an insurance payout, they got to go somewhere. So I'm just like, ooh, I feel like we're about to be overrun by Californians. I mean, hey, we're happy to help you out. Happy to pitch in, go home, and just maybe donate some money so you can go home. Just don't come here,
I don't know what to tell you. I feel like while that's an honest thought you had, I would not have verbalized any of it, honestly.
Well, I'm not afraid of Californians.
Oh, it's not about who I'm afraid of. I just probably not the time.
No, this is absolutely the time.
Okay.
As they're rolling into town is probably the time.
All right.
I wouldn't be surprised if there's many of them here in our hotels.
Keep on going.
Yeah, New Mexico is great.
Yeah.
Big George says, did you see Prince Harry and Meghan Markle say that Californians need to open up their homes to those displaced by fires? They themselves not opening up their home. Their mansion is closed to people, but they want others to.
Oh no, a member of the royal family is out of touch. Who would have guessed?
I'm just
baffled. Who would have guessed that a person who literally grew up as royalty and treated that way would be out of touch with the common man? I would never have guessed.
Do they
an actress and a prince?
Do they have a home there, California?
Yeah, they do.
Oh, they do.
Or they borrowed one from Oprah or something. I don't remember. I don't remember what happened. Wilbur says, Jeffrey, I see what you did there. No, you don't. You just don't. Moldy Tuna Fish says, don't kink shame, ditch, and hole diggers. It's a legitimate profession. Is that some sort of a term? I feel like it's a term because somebody else said something. Fifth letter says, Tom, make the Raiders great again. Okay. Tom Brady is not going to be the GM of the Raiders. Tom Brady might be consulting with the owner saying, well, here's what I think. But I don't think Tom Brady, just because he's got an ownership, is about to be the GM of the Raiders.
He's not about to be a GM, but Mark Davis himself said that Tom Brady will have a significant say as to who the next head coach of the team is.
He's just he's a consultant right now. He's just a trusted voice in that guy's ear. That's all.
I mean, significant is more than just I would recommend this guy.
Oh no, I imagine they're on the phone quite a bit.
Yeah,
and I feel like
whoever
really
that next coach
strong
is.
in his opinions, especially since he's got a skin in the game. But no, he's not going to be the GM.
No, he's not the GM. But he also, because you can't be the GM and part owner. That's you're not allowed to do that.
Oh, really? Because the owner of the Dallas Cowboys is allowed to be the GM,
but he's not officially the GM. He doesn't.
For real?
Yeah,
he doesn't. I thought he carried the title.
He does not carry the title.
He acts like it.
Yes.
He does all the stuff of it.
He does.
They just don't have a GM.
I mean, they do, but it's not like anybody's listening to that guy.
Oh, okay. So here's the other part. Tom Brady could just be the GM that's not named the GM, just like Jerry Jones.
He could do that. Yeah. And I think
that's
be
what he's doing right now.
That's more how it's going to work. If Mark Davis is like, Tom Brady's going to have a significant say, and there are reports that he's reached out to Vrabel to see if he could get Vrabel to be the coach of the Raiders, I imagine that that's exactly what's happening.
Tell you what, Vrabel fits right in. I think he fits right in there, and I think he'd fit right in with the Patriots. It'll be interesting to see what he decides because he has a choice in all this, you know. I know, Navy Devil. I know the Raiders fired their GM today. I think everybody knows that. Tom Telesco is
bye-bye.
Yeah, I guess was he that bad? He was kind of bad. Was he that bad? He had a good draft, but I don't know if he's that bad. Somebody will hire him, right? Or maybe not.
Maybe not to be their general manager this season. He may find himself in that position again, but he's going to probably, like the same thing that coaches do. You get fired, you work as a coordinator, an assistant somewhere.
In the background,
yeah, you're going to be an assistant GM or something like that until people forget what happened the last time you were GM.
Navy Devil, yeah. I also saw that insurance canceled a whole lot of people's fire insurance last month. That's been going on for actually a couple of years in California. And it's kind of like when you're doing betting, you take a look at and see what Vegas is doing, right? A lot of times Vegas is like, oh, wait, they know something. This line kind of indicates that somebody's got some information on something. So the insurance companies took a look around California and they're like, this place is about to go up. And they're like, you know what? We got to get out of this. And they start canceling people's fire insurance. They stopped renewing it. It's like they didn't just walk in and say cancel. They just, when it came up for renewal, they said, oh yeah, we'll renew your insurance, just not the fire part. And a lot of people were frustrated, and a lot of people have been trying to sort that out. It's been a problem for a few years in California. And now you know why the heartless money bastards at the insurance company have decided to screw the general public. But technically, they did tell them, hey, you don't have fire insurance anymore. So see ya. It wasn't like they just pantsed them and they didn't know it. Everybody knows. So Bat Flipper says the Rams probably have more fans in Arizona than LA. Maybe. I don't know about that. I don't know how many more. I don't know more Vikings fans or more LA fans or not. What do you think?
That's a good point. I think with the Rams, I don't know that they have more fans here than LA, but they do have a lot of fans here, like a lot.
I'd say there's more LA fans than Minnesota fans.
Yeah, because the Minnesota fans that are out here are the ones that can afford to be out here right now, and then they'll go back in their own summertime.
Rainy City Bitch Pigeon says you work all season to win your division, get a home playoff game, only to have it moved for a natural disaster. This is as close as I will get to ever feeling bad for the Rams. That's fair. No, that's fair.
Yeah.
Randy doesn't feel bad for the Rams.
No.
He feels bad for the people of LA.
You did win your division, but you're the team with less wins. Like like this is like the one situation where I'm like,
you get the feeling this game on Monday is a formality, like if they wanted to meet midfield and just sign a piece of paper and say, go with God, Vikings. And then that's it. That's it.
I don't
feels like a formality.
I don't get that feeling. No,
I do. It feels like a formality. I think this is going to be a pretty quick game.
I think Minnesota's better, but I don't think that actually.
You just like
I think whoever's leading
I
at
genuinely
halftime,
disagree.
Whoever's leading at halftime should win.
No.
I just think NFL games are tougher than that.
No, Randy, it's whoever's leading at the end of the game wins. That's who wins.
Well, I mean, I kind of know that, but
I feel like you just, maybe you've been off for too many days. So it's okay. Yeah. Let's see. What's that, Navy Brad? He says City of Los Angeles should put in a call for United States Navy, have a carrier battle group head to LA. Oh, that's a good idea. Let's bomb the bleep out of the place.
Why?
You mean?
I don't know. It's just his idea.
Water bombs?
No, he says to help with the firefighting. Oh, okay. I didn't see that part.
Okay.
I mean, it gets us so bad to a certain point. Maybe we just bomb the hell out of the place.
I just don't understand.
I was thinking maybe water bombs.
Do we have water bombs?
Oh, I'm sure we do.
I mean, if you get it from the ocean. I don't know.
Oh, yeah. Come on.
I don't know how the Navy works, Brad, but okay. Fifth letter says, rumor is the Raiders are going to go hard for Ben Johnson. And Ben already stated if he takes a head coaching job, he wants to bring in and pick his GM. Does that really work that way? I don't feel like it works that way.
It absolutely can work that way.
Coach can say, I want that GM.
That's literally what Ron Rivera did in Washington.
Yeah, Ron Rivera, yeah. Well, he was walking into a very weak situation. Is the Raiders situation that weak where you could walk in and say, nah, I want that guy as the GM?
Did you watch them play football this year?
No, yes. No, their team played weak. I don't know. You got Tom Brady calling the shots.
So how many years in a row have the Raiders been?
You got Tom Brady calling the shots now, Keon. I don't think there's going to be in this panky or hanky. There will be no hanky nor panky.
I'm just saying that both situations work. You have some coaches that want to bring their GM with them, and there's some GMs that are like, no, I want to hire the coach. So you just, whatever model you choose, just know that there are pros and cons to both.
I feel like it's always a better thing for the owner to hire the GM that hires the coach. That's what I think.
I mean, all that would happen is that the roles are reversed and the coach is the boss. So when the coach, if the GM's like,
hey, fire the owner, Keon.
No, I mean the boss of the GM. Everybody's under the owner, obviously. Yeah.
I hate these org charts. Just a Tip says, had to block all my porn sites so I could listen to you guys with no interruption. What? Also, I had to get my shoes full of dryer sheets. Let's go. Okay, what? I don't understand. Why do your feet stink? And wow,
I'm asking as few questions as possible.
Yeah, I'm
concerning
stopping there.
that.
I'm stopping there.
They've got that new all over deodorant.
Do they? How do you get that on?
Oh, you just spray it on. Yeah.
So it's a spray deodorant.
It's a like all over spray deodorant. Yeah.
The only part that I need
I
deodorant is
saw
my pits.
a lady who was half horse and half lady talking about this on TV last night.
I've not seen the half horse, half lady commercial.
Oh yeah. Oh no. Yeah. It's there.
You
It's
sure
real.
you weren't just watching Sex in the City?
No. It's real. It's for reals. Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't seen that yet.
Oh yeah.
Oh, a lot of times, you know how sometimes on the streaming you're going to watch a show and then there's commercials in the streaming now. So then I'll just mute it, right? I'll mute it, and when I mute it, then I don't have to hear the commercials. And I looked and I saw, oh look, there's a new Kevin Hart and LeBron James commercial. Hadn't seen and she's like, oh, do you want to unmute it? And I'm like, no, we're going to see it 9 million times. Let's let it be fresh and new the next time it happens. So I just wish they'd make more of a variety of some of these commercials.
As a matter of fact, Jeffco, I think fresh and new is that deodorant that horse lady was pitching on the TV. Fresh and new.
Fresh and new what?
Deodorant.
Okay.
It's what that horse lady was pitching on the TV.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm not going to look it up. I'm going to wait until I have to see that commercial a million times during football. I think that's probably a wise way to go.
Right.
Latina Leprechaun says this show is starting off on a weird foot. Am I right? Yeah, but that could be any show, Latina Leprechaun. Can really be any show.
Oh, yeah.
But no, listen, we got plenty of stuff to talk about. I really want to know what the hell happened to ASU last night. We got some stuff that's going to be happening tonight, and we got a crap ton of NFL football to talk about, too. So come on back. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
This is Brent Musburger's Action Update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. This update brought to you by Sport Trade. Download the Sport Trade app and use code VSIN to earn 10% cash back on every bet in your first week. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP.
NBA tonight, the Phoenix Suns are home as they take on the Atlanta Hawks. They are back from a 3-game road trip where they went 1-2, losing on Tuesday night to the Charlotte Hornets. Meanwhile, Atlanta snapped a 3-game losing skid, beating Utah Tuesday night on a 50-foot buzzer beater from Trae Young. Tonight, the Suns are a 5.5-point home favorite, minus 115 against the spread. Hawks getting the 5.5, minus 105. On the money line, Atlanta plus 180. Phoenix minus 215, and the over-under for tonight is at 238.5. I'm Tony Desiri with your VSiN Action Update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Sports bettors, we've all been there. You have a live bet lined up, you check the odds one more time, place the bet only to see the bet delayed by the spinny wheel, line move, and your bet rejected. My name's Alex Kane, and I'm the founder and CEO of SportTrade, Arizona's newest sports betting app. At the core of the SportTrade offering is our probability-based odds. In other words, the Cardinals may be offered at 55% odds to win, a lot simpler than minus 125. Place your bet at 55% odds, and as your win probability changes, so does the value of your bet, giving you the ability to cash out with total control. And the best part, no spinning wheels. Live bets on SportTrade are instantly accepted. Download SportTrade on your iPhone today and use code 1580 to earn 10% cash back on every bet in your first week. Terms apply.
SportTrade is regulated by the Arizona Department of Gaming. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP.
We put you so close to the game, you can almost smell the sweat.
Ooh, awkward.
GCU basketball is live on The Fanatic.
It's the first road trip of the season as the GCU men's basketball team's in Orem, Utah to take on Utah Valley. Tip times at 6 p.m.
Michael Potter and Paul Coro have the call live for GCU basketball on 1580 The Fanatic and always on at 1580thefanatic.com.
Hey, Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic. Latina Leprechaun, she says, hey, you want to know what happened to ASU last night in basketball? They forgot they're supposed to play 2 halves of basketball. They showed up for the first half, stayed in the locker room eating Kansas City barbecue in the second half. That's what it looks like by the stat line. ASU was up by 6 points going into the half, and then they came out afterwards and scored a whole 13 points in the second half. And the Kansas City Jayhawks easily came back and completely destroyed Arizona State University. Feel like that's a pretty good analysis of the situation, right, Keon?
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, Kansas is a deeper basketball team than ASU is. They have more scorers, 1 through 5, than ASU does, and then their bench is deeper. I don't think they forgot to play. I think they were tired.
38-13 after halftime. That's what Kansas did to ASU. 38-13.
The scoring load on that team is falling to like 1 or 2 guys for ASU, where Kansas, like any one of those 5 guys, can get a bucket on any possession.
Wasn't it just last November, just this past November, that ASU beat the number 1 ranked Kansas Jayhawks in Tempe?
I don't recall.
This is the first time they've seen them this year.
But
you're talking about last season.
This is a different
Randy?
season.
You talking about last season? Or are you talking about just?
I thought early this season, ASU played Kansas
in football, maybe not basketball.
No, I thought it was basketball.
I'm looking it up.
No,
Randy. No, we did not play them. We did not play them.
That did not happen.
In fact, ASU has lost to, I do believe, any ranked team it's played so far in basketball this season.
Yeah, Gonzaga, Florida,
right,
being the other 2.
So new.
ASU
got Baylor this weekend.
Yeah, I mean they're about to go through the gauntlet. The Big 12 is not a fun place to play. It's got all the good teams in it. And Kansas is according to the AP Top 25, they're the 2nd ranked Big 12 team after Iowa State. Like this is
Big George says, Randy, that happened in 2018.
Oh,
so that was like 6 years ago.
Oh, I'm sorry.
But I hold on to that memory dearly as well, Randy.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
Navy Devil says, I wonder if Mark Davis get his football advice from his brother, since the Jets owner listens to his grandkids' Madden ratings and stuff. Nope, Mark Davis is listening to Tom Brady right now, which I guess you could listen to worse people.
You could. Now have I seen former great players be bad at the hiring part of things? Yeah, but you could still listen to worse people than Tom Brady. Much worse people.
Justin Tip says, thank goodness for ASU ice hockey. Yes. Yes. It's thank goodness for any team in Arizona that's doing well. You know what I'm saying? Thank goodness for that. Moldy Tuna Fish says, don't kink shame dirty feet foot fetish on porn sites, to each their own. No, I don't think that's what Just Tip was saying. I think he was saying he puts dryer sheets in his shoes and then he's got porn pop-ups that's messing with the show. I think that's what he was saying there. I'm curious about the dryer sheets in the shoes more than the porn pop-ups.
Yeah, me too.
But you're right. Maybe I should stop asking so many questions.
Though if you've got the porn pop-ups, they
answer some questions.
The pop-ups don't come from nowhere.
That's not true. That's not, hear me tell you something. I mean, yeah, they don't come from nowhere, but this is back for 2006, 7, 8, something like that. I was working in another radio station, and I was working in a capacity where I was doing some production work as well as doing a show. So I was also in charge of operations. And so I'm sitting there, and what happened is networks or clients would send links where you go, you click on it, you download their stuff. Well, one time I clicked on one of the links, download the audio, and then all of a sudden, like, some stuff kind of popped up on the screen. It wasn't porn or anything. I'm like, whoa, what the hell? And I just like click, turned it off, and I just like, stupid. So I figured it was just going to be advertisements or something, right? So there I am, just working away, doing my thing. And then the GM says, hey, Brian, come here. I want to show you something. Oh, yeah. Go into the office. So I'm standing in the office. He says, yeah, I got to get the office manager in here. And the owner is here. Oh, hi, how are you doing? So people were standing in the office. They're showing something. And all of a sudden you hear, coming out of my office. And I'm like, what? We're both like, what the hell? And it's like, and I'm like, oh my God. So I go running in there.
That's involved. That's
and I'm like, whoa. And I turned off the computer and I explained, no, I think it was, I must have clicked the link from this. They're all like, right.
Yeah, of course they don't believe you because that's
and the owner's son was like, can I get that link? Get out of my office, you little creep. And if anybody knew anything about KXAM back in the day, do you know who I'm talking about?
But even then, you know, it didn't come from nowhere. Not because you specifically searched it, but
it kind of came from nowhere. But it came from. I'm saying it could come from accidents, not. Yeah, I'm not necessarily going places. You
right. I'm just saying it didn't come from nowhere. That's all.
Just a tip wants you all to know. He says, I have never logged on to porn. My girlfriend is stunningly hot. And dryer sheets, well, that just keeps your shoes fresh.
Oh, well, fair. I've never tried that before.
It's good. That's actually it's a good idea. Like if your shoes get a little bit like, just put a dryer sheet in there. I feel like my feet would slip around in them though. You know what I mean?
That's good. That's good. Yeah, that's a good point.
Navy Devil says, he's upset with himself because just a couple letters ruined his joke. He said, I wonder if Mark Davis gets his football advice from his barber. Oh, barber. Since the Jets owner listens to his grandkids, man rains. Oh.
I sure hope not, because
that was my fault. I saw
a barber.
I might need new glasses.
His barber's not good at being a barber, so I don't know that I take any of his other advice, but you know.
Navy Devil, do you know Navy Brad? I just realized that there's two different Navy guys, Navy Devil and Navy Brad. Navy Brad says, I know for a fact they helped firefight on another ship. He says, yeah, all sailors are firefighting trained. I think it might be a little different fighting fire on a ship than it is out in the brush.
Anchors away, my boys.
That's the first thing. Los Angeles will need to drop anchor. Put on some light hats. I don't know how it works. Rainy City Bitch Pigeon says, if they don't have water bombs, everyone can use a good rain grenade. What's a rain grenade?
How would it work?
I wonder if I just said something dirty again.
A grenade?
I don't know.
No, not going to Google it over here, so I don't know what to tell you.
Heavy Metal Maniac says, hope nobody gets hurt in California. Well, like 5 people have died so far, and I think the body count is going to go up as they start to find people. He says, I'm going to sell some ice cold beer at the game. He says, or has it been officially moved? Do you know? Gee whiz, I figured you'd know. Figured you'd know first.
Well, my sources tell me.
No, your sources. Who's your sources? You don't have sources.
I have a lot of sources you don't know.
You have no sources. Your sources is wandering around behind you, sniffing the furniture.
I have a lot of sources.
Who? Name them.
Well, I can't. Then they won't be sources.
You can name your sources, and they're still sources.
You know what? Patient, client, sensitivity.
Sure, but you're not a doctor of any kind.
I am too. I'm a doctor of weather.
You're not a doctor of weather.
I am too. I have a thing hanging in my
office, doctor, and it's fake
Just
anyway.
Go down the hall right now, and you will see it.
I'll
right
go down
now.
the hall, and I'll be in our linen closet. I'm home.
Well, that's your problem.
Well, Heavy Metal Maniac. So doesn't somebody call you when it's time to come sell beer? I mean, if you're going to go do that, I'd like to know. Rainy City Bitch Pigeon says a rain grenade equals a beer. I don't think you want to throw beer at stuff. Moldy Tuna Fish says, Jeffrey O'Brien, you dirty dog, you. So obviously I'm saying something and I don't know what I'm saying.
You're
either that or he's referencing your story where your computer.
Oh, yeah. No, it was more like that. I mean, let's have accuracy in reporting.
Sorry.
The Berg says rain grenade, not Googling that. Also, the Suns are officially back to the team that gave away potatoes after they got blown out by 30 points every night. But yeah, God, they suck. They do. And I don't know why. They shouldn't.
Suns are back to giving away potatoes?
No, they're just back to stinking.
Oh.
They're stinking. Heavy Metal Maniac says, I didn't know it was officially moved to Phoenix yet. I thought you guys might have heard. No, we haven't heard anything yet. In fact, that's how we started the show 32 minutes ago, me asking, when will we know the deadline of it's staying in LA or it's definitely moving, to Arizona? They have to have a deadline because you can't just you can't just move entire teams and equipment at the drop of a hat. There's
Sure you can.
a certain amount of time that has to be allowed to load up the trucks, to get the personnel where they need to be, and like that. I mean, the Vikings, if they tell them, hey, we're going to Arizona, then that flight goes, takes a little turn. But then the Rams were not preparing for an away game, so they've got to load up a bunch of stuff. So I would say today, tomorrow, the latest, is what they need to know if this is going to happen or not. So anyway, let's talk. We're going to talk some more football here in a minute. So everybody hang in there. But GCU playing tonight, Keon, against the Utah Valley Murmurings. And that's going to be at, well, actually, we're stepping aside at 5:42 p.m. For the broadcast. And GCU is heavily favored in this, not as much as they've been in the past. But this actually should be a pretty good contest. What do you know about the Utah Valley Murmurings?
Just outside of the fact that they're just having a pretty average season, they haven't played the level of competition that GCU has. That's pretty much it. I mean, as far as what I know, they are the second best team in the WAC this year, so that's probably something to note, and I think probably helps GCU a lot if they're able to beat them as badly as the line of this game would suggest. And I do think that GCU is starting to play better basketball and like look a little bit more like themselves, especially Tyon Grant Foster. He was in a funk basically up until the last game that they played, and he's kind of getting back on track a little bit. He's and I hope it's a thing that continues, that he's shooting less threes and getting more to the basket and playing that mid-range game. Like, that's the stuff that makes him special. And he got away from that. And I don't know if that's he did try out for the NBA draft and then he decided to come back because of his evaluation. I don't know if a scout was like, hey, you shoot more threes, it'll probably get you in here. Or if the greater emphasis on shooting threes from Coach Drew has had him kind of shooting shots he's not as comfortable taking. But whatever it is, his shooting has been down across the board. And I think that a little bit of it is that that's not his game. His game is when he goes to the basket, when he's aggressive, when he forces contact from defenders. That's the stuff that makes Tyon Grant Foster special. And, if he's able to get back to that against a team like this, I think that gives GCU a very clear advantage.
Do you bet GCU? Have you bet GCU this year? Because here's the thing.
A couple of times.
Starting out this year, you were very pro GCU when it came to your bets, but then they let a couple of lower level teams, give you some grief. So now you're like, whoa, okay. So even though it's -3.5 for GCU on this game, I mean, other games it was minus a whole lot more. And then bad things happened, So, I mean,
if you've taken them on the money line,
are you a little nervous about betting these guys?
Not really. Like, if you've taken them on the money line, you've been fine. Like they only, they lost to UC Davis, but every other game that they've lost, it's been against pretty good competition. You play ASU, you lost that game. You play Georgia, you lost that game. And Louisiana Tech, it's not a bad basketball team and had a really good record when they played them. And playing in a bigger conference, yeah, I lost that game too. But all the other games, sure, were some of them closer than you'd like? Yeah, they did win the games, though, and I think they get credit for that.
Well, I mean, you might have a competitive game on your hands tonight for the Utah Valley Wolverines and the GCU. This is an away game, by the way, so that's why it's starting at 5:45 p.m. Another game starting with a JV squad. The Phoenix Suns will be playing tonight against the Atlanta Hawks. Golly, man.
GCU doesn't have a JV squad.
It's a joke. The Phoenix Suns stank right now. That's all.
I just figured since we've got them coming up next, we should, pump them up a little bit.
Navy Brad says, I'm hearing reports that since the air quality in LA is bad, the game will be here in Arizona. Okay, if we have an official story that says that, then yes, then we'll go with that.
I don't think I haven't seen an official story yet, but I have seen pictures from the Rams facility, their practice facility. You can just see the smoke in the background.
I was going to say, I thought maybe there was they were loading trucks.
No, I didn't see that they were loading trucks, but you could just see just a giant plume of smoke in the background of their facilities. I can't imagine.
The winds are coming back, by the way. The winds not as high as they had been, but the winds are coming back, which means more fire, more smoke. I would almost guarantee
I have it on
Monday. It will be here.
Good authority from my insiders that
You don't have any insiders.
A lot of blue and gold paint was delivered
not true.
to the Cactus today.
I don't think that's how that works.
The big Silver Nest got a big shipment of blue and gold paint today.
Against the Spread says it would be quite poetic if the Rams game was moved to Arizona. Sure, the Rams fans would appreciate State Farm Stadium hosting the game after the insurance company canceled people's fire insurance in LA last year. Oh, yeah. Wonder why they didn't go to Vegas. That's a good point. Just the Tip wants you all to know I'm in me cups. Means he's drinking. He's drinking. He's home, safe. Don't worry. Big George says it's sad that it takes an apocalyptic wildfire for Arizona to finally get a home playoff game.
Well, they got one when I moved out here, to be fair. It's not like it's been a billion years since it last happened.
Oh, that was good. Rainy City Bitch Pigeon says, Keon, so who are you taking tonight? Catholics or the Diddlers? Wait, is that the same team? Oh, okay. I see what you're doing there. Notre Dame at 5:30 p.m. is taking on Penn State in the college football playoff semifinal. Yes, Kitty Diddler State is hosting Notre Dame. But I mean, the college itself, there hasn't been any issues. You know, and in Penn State, they weren't sanctioned. They were just moved to a different state. That's what they do. So who do you got in tonight's game, by the way?
Yeah, I
wait, hold on. Hold that thought. Let's take a break. We'll come back. We'll have Keon Rose's college football playoff semifinal, very short dance, not dance party.
Okay. Yeah, that works.
It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Progressive presents a testimonial of sorts.
Hey, slow down! Oh, yeah? Well, you drive like my grandma. She's a very attentive and courteous driver who wears a seatbelt and always uses her turn signals. She's also a talented painter and has very low cholesterol. Not that that has anything to do with the drive. We just thought a more complete picture of who she is might be interesting. Anyway, have a nice day.
Safe driver? Get Snapshot from Progressive and get a personalized rate based on how you drive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Snapshot not available in California or from all agents. Surcharge possible for unsafe driving.
My name is Mary Grace. I lost my mom to Alzheimer's in 2017. 2 months after losing her, my dad was diagnosed. The earlier the diagnosis you have, the more time you have with your loved one. With my dad, now that I know what's coming, I'm able to create memories not only for him, but for myself, though. When he can't remember, I'll remember for him.
For more information, contact us at alz.org or through the 24/7 helpline at 800-272-3900. Sponsored by the Alzheimer's Association.
They're going to go nuts when he hits this thing.
It went in. The People's Open is back. See the PGA Tour's best tee it up at the 2025 WM Phoenix Open, February 3rd through the 9th at TPC Scottsdale. Get tournament and ticket info at WMPhoenixOpen.com. WMPhoenixOpen.com.
Water is Arizona's most valuable resource. And for over a century, Phoenix has led the way in providing reliable water services. Wherever you call home in Arizona, we all share the responsibility to conserve for tomorrow. Watch your water use, especially outdoors. Consider desert-friendly landscaping and water-saving appliances. Together, small changes can make a big difference. Learn more at phoenix.gov/water and help secure Arizona's water future. This message is sponsored by the City of Phoenix Water Services Department.
As we plan for our retirement, there are 4 questions we need to ask ourselves or our retirement planning advisor. How much? How long? How safe? And what cost? Let's start with how much. That is, how much income we think we'll need each and every year for the rest of our lives, including all the activities we want to enjoy during our retirement, like travel, recreation, and entertainment. Plus the cost of housing, including repair and maintenance, taxes, insurance, and utilities, as well as the cost of healthcare, including expenses not covered by Medicare.
Enjoy safe, secure lifetime income of 5 to 9% for life, depending on age and deferral period, with no fee deductions and no annuitizing. Guarantees rely on the financial strength of the insurer, so let's compare free in Scottsdale. For more, visit IQannuity.com, IQannuity.com, IQannuity.com.
1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Arizona's new home for sports.
David Glinda here on 1580 The Fanatic. I used to use that as walk-up music when I did stand-up comedy. Used to use that song.
Great song.
I didn't get to use it for very long because that was also about the time I stopped doing comedy. But by the way, I haven't talked about this at all, but I'm going to say it out loud. I've been writing an hour's worth of comedy to do a special, and I'm going to invite everybody who's listening to come see it happen.
Oh, that's cool.
Never even mentioned this to anybody.
Where at?
Don't know yet.
Okay.
Haven't written the whole thing. I got about 15 minutes. Yeah, I got, but I have through the process, because I haven't written for to do actual stand-up in a lot of years. Randy, remember when you and I were doing the morning show together, and I got invited to do a Mother's Day banquet. They're like, hey, and then this guy I know who helped me with one of my parody songs, he had a guitar, and we went out and did a night of comedy, and it had been about 5 years, I don't know how many years it'd been since I'd done comedy, 3 years maybe. And so I wrote it all. I didn't try it out. And I just was like, I remembered enough where the laughs would be, and I killed. Of course, yes, it was a bunch of women, old ladies, young ladies, and stuff. I was very cute at the time, so I got a little Matt Rife action going there, where they didn't care what I said; they just thought I was cute. But we did some funny stuff. We did some songs. We did I did stand up, and it was great. So it's like it's been that long since I've actually done it. So so now I'm writing, and trying to remember the timing of a live crowd and stuff. I'm not worried about that, but what I've realized is I was a young guy, and I had that sort of look like people were pulling for me. They're like, oh, look at this little, oh, he seems so nice, and so I don't think I'm going to have that now. I don't think I'm going to, if anything, if these people who listen to this show show up to see me do this, it might be nonstop heckling. It might just be, I might end up doing the Matt Rife crowd work, if you know what I mean. Just, it's going to, I don't know how that's going to work out. Might have to have a treaty with the audience where it's like, okay, no heckling until the hour's over. Then after that, let me have it. Because you know me, I ain't got no problem with hecklers. I've handled the hecklers here on this show pretty well for the last however many years.
And the last time we were at the Phoenix Open, I thought you handled that pretty well too, because you had a couple.
Oh, you had some drunks come up. They weren't even actual listeners. I don't remember what I said.
They were not. One guy was trying to. One guy was trying to say something into your mic, and you were like, we're recording this. I can send this video to the police. And he was like, oh no.
That was a good bluff, though, right there. Yeah. Like, I'm going to sit in the police. It's like, they might recognize me by my voice. But no, I mean, so, that is something I'm working on right now, is just coming up with an hour's worth of material. And it's hopefully won't be a big deal. I did go out on the socials. I know some of you guys saw it. I went on the socials and I asked the question, what makes you happy? And this is just part of a thought process that I was using in writing some of this stuff that I'm about to do. And I realized social media was the wrong place to do it.
Yes.
Because I asked on the socials, and each site that I asked, I got answers reflective of that site. Like at Facebook, I got a lot of very thoughtful and adorable things from a lot of old people, right? And Twitter, immediate string of your mom posts. Choro, immediately, your mom. And I was like, no, that's fun. That's good. And then on Instagram, bunch of vapid selfies. That's it. They don't know how to respond to anything on Instagram without a picture of themselves. And then on Blue Sky, Blue Sky, I got no response because nobody on there is happy. Everybody on there is miserable.
Or a bot, which unclear whether or not those are happy.
So, I didn't get anywhere with that. And, but, I'm working on it, and it's starting to flow. It took me a couple of weeks where I realized I was just writing one-liners, and I was like, that ain't going to work for an hour. So now I've kind of got an idea and a flow of the stuff. So when it's time, I'll tell you where, and we'll do this. But I think there will have to be a rule and a treaty in place saying if this thing is being recorded for the first hour, no heckling. At the end, heckle the hell out of it. I don't even care. 888-368-1580. Scratch me because says, hey, can I open for you, Jeffco? Every time I text in, it's my comedy routine. I'd have to roll back and see if you actually had funny stuff. Yeah, I even thought about who would open for me. Didn't even think about that. Moldy Tuna Fish says, that sounds amazing, Jeffrey. What kind of comedy do you do? Does it involve puppets? Like Jeff Dunham or props like Carrot Top? None of the above. 0%.
Thankfully.
T-Licious says, so 2-drink minimum at the show? I think it might be a 1-drink maximum at the show. Berg says, I'll be at the show. I know you will, pal. I know you will. George says, that's wonderful, Jeffrey. Congratulations on that. Will it be on Netflix? I don't know. Maybe if it's good. I don't know if it'll be anywhere if it's bad. You may never see me again. Latina Leprechaun says, Jeffrey, you're one funny guy. I'd love to see you do some stand-up. Well, you will, because now I have to. I've said it out loud with my mouth. So anyway, that's what I'm working on. So what makes you happy, Keon?
So many things.
It's weird that you have to stop and think about it, isn't it? Well, I did too.
Yeah, I think part of it was like, I'm gonna keep it simple. I'm gonna go with beer. Beer does make me happy.
I was thinking Hummers.
I almost chose lasagna, but
no, Hummers.
No, beer.
Hummers.
The vehicle. Please say the vehicle.
Randy, what makes you happy?
My wife makes me happy.
Oh, also Hummers. 888-368-1580. Wilbur says, Jeffrey, there's 10,000 comedians out there. You can be funny for free? No.
Why would you ever do that?
No. I don't know. I don't think the show is going to be free. I don't know. Should the show be free? I mean, more people will show up if they don't have to pay. And I wouldn't make everybody pay a lot. Yeah, I wouldn't make you, and I wouldn't make you pay if it sucked.
Well, good point, I guess. But like if it, I don't know. Like if you want to get the non-heckling variety of people, if people have to pay even a little, then there's a little bit of an investment there.
Oh no, you don't understand the commitment of some of the people on this text line.
That's true. I might be underestimating them.
They'll pay extra just to heckle.
Did you say it was $70? All right.
They're like,
now you're really gonna hear it.
I want seats up front, so he has to kick my feet off the stage. That's what I want. No, it won't probably be for free, but I bet it'll be very discounted because you're my pals. Scratch Me Because says, what makes me happy is when Ralph is not on the show.
Damn,
I don't believe you. Moldy Tuna Fish says, Randy's mom being dead is what makes me happy.
Thank you.
Wow. That's very direct.
That's very hurtful.
Yeah, Randy's been gone for a couple of days. He's got to come back to this.
Yeah.
George says you should have that friend of yours from the Late Show be your opening act. That dude, no, he can't be an opening act. Paul Mercurio is a headliner. You don't ask another headliner to open for you. And yes, I'm a headliner. I'm not an opening
Well, yeah,
act.
if you're going to do an hour, I would hope so.
Doesn't mean I'm a headliner because I can do an hour. It just means I got an hour worth of material. That's all.
But if that's what you're aiming for, I mean,
trust me, I'm a headliner. Prison Wallet says Ralph on the show makes me very happy. He's the best. One of the bunch has the most knowledge. So Prison Wallet thinks that Ralph knows more about sports than Randy, than Keon, or myself. I feel like people will argue at least one of those people towards you, Prison Wallet. I feel like one of us is probably, Prison Wallet says, okay, he's tied with Keon. Again, I guess,
still not a clear cut argument. All right.
Listen, I like Ralph. I like Ralph. I do. I do. I do beat the crap out of him a little bit here and there, but I like Ralph.
That's mostly because it's funny. It's not
Well,
because we
you-
don't like Ralph.
I don't like much of what he says, but I like him. So T. Licious says not having to watch the Niners till next season. That's what makes me happy. I think that makes all of us happy now.
Yeah.
Although we're pro Brock Purdy around here.
Mm-hmm.
And Christian McCaffrey.
But
and
since
George Kittle.
Since he's dealing with elbow stuff, I figure.
You know what?
Mm.
Actually, I like the 49ers. I think I like the 49ers. Nothing personal, Randy.
None taken.
I like them more than the Cardinals.
Wow.
Still,
Now-
nothing
now
personal.
Now I'm hurting. Yeah.
I'm just being honest.
That one is going to feel, that's going
Yeah,
to sting.
that one stings. Yeah.
The players on the 49ers are likable. I can't help it. Brock Purdy, he's a Perry High School guy. George Kittle, he's crazy. Gotta love him. He's like a drummer. He reminds me of Animal from the Muppets. And then Christian McCaffrey, zero personality, but what an amazing running back he is. Zero personality. No person. I just. Can I just tell you? Who's that girlfriend of his? That everybody's like, oh, she's famous, good-looking girl. What's her name? I don't remember her name.
Okay, let me Google.
She ain't with him for his personality. She's with him because he probably doesn't talk while she does constantly. That's all I can figure. She's like, I just love Christian. I just can be myself with Christian. You know what I'm saying?
Also, she probably finds him very attractive.
No, I didn't say he wasn't
mostly 'cause
attractive.
My girlfriend has let me know that she thinks he's very attractive.
Oh. Also, his wallet, very attractive. Very attractive. No, he's a good-looking guy. But I don't think
She was like, that's a pretty man. I was like,
tell
okay.
your girlfriend, hey, if you ended up with Chris McCaffrey, I don't think you're going to have many really great conversations.
Probably not, but I was like, also, I wouldn't blame you.
I don't think you roll over to Chris McCaffrey and start getting quoted Nietzsche. I don't think that's happening. You're like, hey, are you hungry? I just want to contemplate Kierkegaard. Can we do that? No, you're not getting that from him.
He might read it. He won't tell you anything about it, though.
Yeah, you're going to have to tell him the book is upside down. I guarantee you he ain't reading it.
I don't think he's dumb.
I didn't say he's dumb.
Well, if you're saying that you have to tell him the book is
He's
upside
just
down,
pretending to read.
He did go to.
That's
he did
pretty
go to-
smart.
that seems like a LeBron thing to do.
He
Actually,
did go to Stanford.
Gee whiz.
which is tough. It's tough to get into Stanford, man.
Playing football.
Yeah, but Stanford enforces their academic stuff on all the athletes too.
Got to hold your own at Stanford.
You can't. They don't just let you in because you play football.
Oh, hold on. Silver Pop says, Jeffrey, what about that the bad Bosa on the Niners? Do you like him also? I keep messing up which Bosa is the good Bosa, which one's the bad Bosa. No, I don't care for that guy.
Yeah,
I don't care for the bad Bosa.
Nick is the bad Bosa.
Nick is the bad Bosa. 49er Bosa is the bad Bosa. No, that's a shame. That's a shame. Ringless
Every team's
Joe
got a guy.
says, don't hop in the lion's water if you can't swim. Who asked you? What is it? Nothing to do with what we're talking about.
I think
Wilbur
he's
says,
talking about you doing comedy.
Oh, maybe think that's what he's saying.
I doubt
I
it.
don't think that's what he's saying. All right, listen, we'll be back. Hour 2, Daily Blender up next here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Breaking news, and this one is almost unbelievable.
Yeah, it's all about new customers at Bet365 because they get $150 in bonus bets when they bet $5. And even better, bonus bets can be used on the spread, totals, and player props.
There you have it. Bet $5 to get $150 in bonus bets. And see why. It's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Arizona. Terms and conditions apply.
Do you know about 211 Arizona? It's a free service to connect you with resources anywhere in Arizona. Housing assistance and eviction prevention, transportation and ride services, healthcare benefits, food resources, and even utility bill support. Talk to a live operator in English or Spanish 24 hours a day, every day of the year. Just dial 211 or visit 211arizona.org. Get connected, get answers, and get the help you need. This message is sponsored by 211 Arizona.
No two people learn the exact same way. So how did Babbel become the award-winning language learning app? We thought of you, all of you. Take Sierra. As a visual learner, she uses Babbel's wordplay videos.
Today I'll share a quick lesson on shopping for French.
Merci beaucoup. Keith is a be in the room with real people kind of learner. So he loves the live online classes with our language experts.
Okay, class. Vos está pronto.
Estamos prontos.
However you learn, Babbel makes it easy. Try Babbel for free at babbel.com, BABBEL.com.
The GCU men's basketball squad is coming off their winningest season in 35 years, their third trip to the NCAA tournament in 4 years, and their first ever NCAA tournament victory. Returning 4 of their 5 starters in Ray Harrison, Colin Moore, Duke Brennan, and reigning WAC Player of the Year, Tyon Grant Foster, the Lopes look to defend their WAC titles and make a run to the Sweet 16. With a non-conference slate, including Stanford, Georgia, and crosstown rival Arizona State, you won't want to miss a moment of the action. So join me, Michael Potter, and Lopes insider Paul Coro all season long, right here on the home of the Lopes, 1580 The Fanatic. Lopes up.
I'm Angela Gonzalez, reporting from Phoenix. We're talking with the community about Phoenix Police Department. Ma'am, what do you think?
Oh, I love them. They're our local heroes. We've had some problems around here with break-ins and people using drugs on the streets. The police work with our community to have a presence in our neighborhood and keep our streets safe.
Thank you, Phoenix Police.
Gracias a la Policía de Phoenix.
Thank you, Phoenix Police.
Rise to serve. Find more today at joinphxpd.com. Protect and serve with the elite. Sponsored by the City of Phoenix.
Hi, guys. Jeffrey O'Brien here. Have you ever gone to harmonsolar.com? Well, you really need to, because everything you ever wanted to know about how solar power can save you big on your monthly electric bill is right there. It's online. Through your phone or through your computer, you can learn about tax credits, the equipment they use, look at how they do things for businesses as well as homeowners, see testimonials from happy customers, and I hear they got a pretty good podcast, too. Check it out. Go to harmonsolar.com. That's harmonsolar.com.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K257CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K240 EU Mountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
All right, people, settle down.
Because it's time.
Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's 4 o'clock here on the Daily Blender, and your good friend, your radio pound, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White. Got Keon Rose in the control room, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580. Broadcasting live in the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale. So we kind of got sidetracked. And I think that we need to get a rundown here of Kitty Diddler State hosting Notre Dame in the college football playoff semifinal happening at the Orange Bowl. All right, Keon, here's what Vegas says. It's a pick 'em. It's just a pick 'em. They are favoring Notre Dame, but like the spread is 1. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
And actually, it was favoring Penn State like a day ago, and it was 1 that direction. Right. It's just
whatever way the wind blows. So, what do you think?
Yeah, nobody's really confident in either of these teams offensively, and I think that's where that's coming from first and foremost. The defenses for both of these teams have been really, really good this season, but also this playoff in particular. They're, I believe, both top 5 defenses in the nation. They play like it. You can go look at just the highlights from the college football playoff alone and see how good these teams were. But also, like, there's some serious doubts, I think, necessarily about who's been tested a little bit more. And I don't know that either team in this playoff run has necessarily been tested, whether you want to look at Notre Dame and the fact that they played Indiana, who was already kind of punching above their weight class just to get into the college football playoff. And then, they get the wounded Georgia Bulldogs missing their starting quarterback and having to start a sophomore out there. You can look at that, or you can look at the Penn State run to get to this point where they didn't exactly play, world beaters either. When you either look at how they played, SMU or Boise State, good teams, but one-dimensional football teams. And they basically handled business and got here. I think that if you look back through the season, though, I think that Penn State's been tested a little bit more. They've played tougher competition just as a result of playing in the Big Ten. I am leaning a little bit more towards them. It's kind of just a back and forth thing. I mean, Riley Leonard for Notre Dame's played incredibly well. And I wonder what Penn State's going to do with him as far as his rushing game goes. I mean, he's a very quality passer of the football, but where he does a lot of damage, in particular in the red zone, is with his legs. He leads the nation in rushing touchdowns for quarterbacks. So, that's a dangerous aspect of his game that gives Notre Dame an advantage. But Drew Aller's been pretty steady for the most part this season. He hasn't been great, but he doesn't get too high. He doesn't get too low. And I just think that the tests that Penn State have had are tougher than what Notre Dame's experienced. So I'll take the Nittany Lions.
That's a shame. I'm just saying that, I'd like to have seen Notre Dame win. I don't want Penn State to ever have anything good ever.
They could. like you said, it's a pick 'em. I mean, I have a leaning. I've gone back and forth on this.
If you say it's happening, that's gospel. It's over.
Okay. Well, I'm not going to say that it's gospel because I said it, but
I just wanted to put pressure on you.
I do think that,
Do you track all your picks? How have your picks been this year as far as college football?
I haven't really been tracking them very much this year. But
you should track them next year, would you?
Yeah, okay, we'll do. I did the year before.
Unless they're bad, then conveniently go, oops.
I did the year before, and they were pretty good.
See,
but
yeah, you should track them. Ringless Joe says, "Where's your playoff predictions? I need to know if Kenny Pickett can beat the Set Packers. We're gonna do that tomorrow, dude. We're doing that tomorrow." Against the Spread says, I told you guys to jump on Penn State at +2.5 2 days ago. The Irish are going to have problems running the ball against that tough defense and throwing the ball downfield. Penn State's actually the best bet here tonight. Well, there's something you guys agree on.
We've actually agreed on a lot this playoff.
Did you jump on it at +2.5 a couple days ago?
I didn't, but that's mostly concerning a rule I have, and when I run out of money in my account.
Oh,
that's all that's happening there. I don't add anything else.
You coward.
Look, man, I don't have that much money to begin with.
I'm just kidding. Swazman says, who beat Penn State earlier this year? Was it Illinois? I'm taking Penn State under 50.5 points. 2-leg, he says.
No, Penn State lost to Ohio State, and they lost to Oregon, and those are the games that they lost. Notre Dame, though, they lost to NIU, which I don't feel good about at all. They've gotten better since then, but
The Jet says, I completely hate this matchup between Notre Dame and Penn State. I hate both teams equally. One of them's going to be the national title game. I'll tell you that right now. We're not at that. Yeah, this is the semifinal.
Yes.
So yes, one of them will be in there. So what a brave prediction by the Jet. Wilbur says, tell your wife that you like the 49ers better than the Cardinals, and then tell your wife you like Farrah Fawcett in her prime better than her. See what she does. First off, my wife is a beautiful woman, and she does not care about either of those things. And the Farrah Fawcett thing is an absolute lie. It's not even true.
Oh, God.
Even before her, never had a thing for her. And as far as liking the 49ers better than the Cardinals, it's just the players right now. I mean, I like some of the players on the Cardinals, too.
Like Buddha.
In the last hour, I said that I like Brock Purdy. I like, Christian McCaffrey. I like George Kittle. It's a likable bunch of stars on the team and some, other guys, too. But on the Cardinals, don't care for Kyler Murray much. And I like Connor.
James Conner, Buddha Baker, Trey McBride.
That
I like
avocado.
Those guys.
Like the avocado.
Oh, yeah.
But it just doesn't have the same likability, I guess. I don't know. Hurry Harry says, what makes me happy is when Ralph talks about the Seahawks and then you say vaginale. Those are very separate things. I don't just magically say that when he talks about Seahawks.
Yeah.
Big George says, listening to this radio show makes him happy. He says, then spending time with my wife and kids, going to Chick-fil-A.
Would reverse the order of those things so that your wife is first.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you got to learn that, George. always the wife first. Ringless Joe says, you can love a franchise but hate a team. I love the Suns, but I hate their current roster. He says current bum roster. They're not bums. They're just out of sorts.
Out of sorts, and the chemistry does not appear to be very good.
Do you think it's Beal? I mean, how do we know we're not in there? So we don't.
Yeah, I don't think it's anybody like hates anybody. I think that the players just realize it's not working and something's got to change. And he's the most obvious part because of the size of his contract, if that were to go, then you'd have some flexibility to bring someone else in. I don't think it's a hate Beal kind of thing. At least not publicly. If they do, they've managed to keep that very quiet.
I hate how they're playing. That's all. So Notre Dame, there might be another reason to pick the Penn State is Notre Dame. I guess their locker room, they've been dealing with the flu. I don't know if you knew that. And there's a bunch of players. They've lost multiple players, to injuries. Now they're going to lose some players to flu. Now what they're saying is that it's not necessarily starters. They're saying mostly backup special team players, but people that are around flu people, you could end up with the flu here pretty quick. So something to keep an eye on is the Notre Dame locker room is filthy with the flu right now.
Yeah, and then of course your special teams is still an important aspect of the game. Like it's not out on the field for nearly as long, but games have turned on special teams play pretty easily, and it happens a lot in college.
Jeffrey, I just got this in from my insiders. The locker room there for Notre Dame, filthy with the flu.
Filthy of that. Well, I just said that, Randy.
Filthy with the flu. Yeah.
Okay. Tell your insiders I said thanks.
Okay.
And make an obscene gesture towards them for me.
I didn't know you guys knew that stuff.
I just felt like,
mostly because I wasn't listening. Sure. I was checking my phone.
No, that's fine. So, by the way, flu is going around right now, and you got to be careful. The flu and the COVID, all that stuff is it's going around again. It's that time of year, and I guess Matthew Stafford's wife, she's been battling the flu, and so when she got the flu, you know what she did? She grabbed the kids, and they all got out of the house except for Matthew. Matthew's fine, and she's like, "Yeah, we just left." She says it would, because. There's 5 of us, 1 of him, but all his work stuff, his film room, everything is at the house that he needs to prepare for the game. So he's like, we can just get out of here. And that's what they did. I mean, that's pretty smart right there. That's good thinking. Yeah. That's, a lot of people might, like, no, you leave. There's just one of you. Blah, blah, blah. She's very aware of what he does for a living and where their entire lifestyle comes from. So she's like, no, it's no big deal. We'll just go out of the house. You hang there. And then when we're done being sick, we'll come home. That's pretty awesome. She seems like a pretty good person.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
My wife said the same thing about my setup here, my studio here at home.
She said that you could just take it all and get out if she gets the flu.
Yes. She could just get right the hell out. But it's, never mind. 888-368-1580. She said the same thing, but it was a little different there. The Jet says it's Kevin Durant. Every team he's been on since he left the Warriors have tanked. He puts up too many shots to get his average. He needs to go.
You're not even describing the Kevin Durant that everyone else is watching. He's one of the most efficient shooters in the league, even this year.
How's that a bad thing, Jet?
And wait, hold on. You think the Nets tanked because Kevin Durant was there? Or was it because James Harden decided, I'm going to be fat again so I can get traded? Or was it because Kyrie Irving decided, I'm not going to get the COVID vaccine, so I'm not even going to be able to play in any of the home games that we have? And Kevin Durant by himself took that team to the playoffs and had his big toe on the three-point line, and that's the only reason why the Milwaukee Bucks were in that finals and not the Nets. What are you talking about? Literally, what are you talking about?
It's nice, Randy, to have him yell at somebody else for a change.
Yeah, I know.
And not one of us.
Yeah, I know.
Swazman says the Notre Dame coach is sweating his ass off in pre-interview humidity and dehydration and the flu bug. Wow, the Notre Dame, they better start praying. Well, it's kind of their thing.
Yeah.
Hamlin and Porter says, but don't forget, Penn State has James Franklin on the sideline. So, it's a wash. Number one Rattler fan says, since 1992, I've never missed a Rattlers home game ever, over 350 games. So my allegiances are pretty solid. And as far as college, whoever I've got money on, and as far as the NFL, whoever I have money on, but I don't like the Cowboys. And okay, what was the question? Why are you telling us this? Does anybody know what he's talking about? Did we talk about?
We talked about flu. My insiders reported that Notre Dame is sick with the flu.
No, they didn't. Hefty Lefty says They got the flu after being in Miami for a while. Right. What do you think they have? Like chlamydia?
Like what?
I mean,
Like,
what?
Not exactly the same symptoms. I don't think.
You think they're high? I mean, I don't get what happens in Miami that you think is happening here.
Whatever happens in Miami,
It's just
my insiders tell me stays in Miami.
Your insiders are wrong because that's not true.
If you go to Miami and suddenly you're very sick, but somehow none of your starters are, that's a really, I don't think it's what you're suggesting that it is.
Ringless Joe says Lions going to pull up to the division round. No, I'm not even going to read the rest of your damn text.
He's just going to keep texting about the Lions and like we get it. You like the Lions, but we're not talking about the Lions right now.
Who said that?
I'm going to stop reading your stuff until we're actually talking about the Lions if you keep doing that. Coom says, you think Matt Stafford has electricity in California? Heard the LA game. We're thinking about coming to AZ. No, I think a lot of people have. There's a lot of people without electricity. That is true. I don't know where Matt Stafford lives. Nobody's even brought that up. What is funny is somebody has photoshopped the Hollywood sign being on fire, and everybody's posting, "Oh my God, what a tragedy!" Really, because there's dead people and billions and billions and billions of dollars of lost, homes. Mementos, just lives are completely destroyed. But oh my God, the Hollywood sign. And then this. Here's the list of celebrities whose houses have been destroyed. You're making me sick with this. Really?
Yeah.
We're going to focus on the guys who probably could just go build a brand new house on the spot without help from insurance. Oh no, poor Henry Winkler, whatever.
There's like a lot of people who that's like their second house.
So wait, the Fonz's house burned up?
I just threw that name out there.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, there's a lot of people. It's not just celebrities; it's everybody. So the fact we're focusing on that, but yeah, somebody photoshops the Hollywood sign on fire. People are like, "Oh my God!" So that's what got you. Not dead people, not all the animals, not all the property, not all the families, not all the everything. The sign. Shame on you. Ringless Joe says, what did you guys think of Milton the third's quarterback performance? He looked like a beast out there.
I mean, he did look good.
And Milton Berle
in that last game of the season. Joe Milton the third.
I heard he had a big schlong. Milton Berle.
Okay, well, wow, that they're not
a big schlong.
Oh,
Milton
that's like
Berle?
It's a showbiz legend.
That's a
no kidding.
Person.
I believe that also burnt down. But what are you? Where's Milton? Who's Milton?
Joe Milton the third. He's from the University of Tennessee. Got drafted by the Patriots actually, and
why is he talking about that? We weren't even talking about the Patriots.
We were not. No, he's just asking because the Patriots
Does he have a
their
big
guy
schlong?
in Drake May. So maybe
English Joe.
No, Joe Milton the third.
You have to ask Keon that. He was telling us about him.
Hey, Keon, does Joe Milton the third have a big schlong?
I actually don't know. I don't know.
Why do you want to know that?
Because you said Milton Berle had one, and I thought maybe Joe Milton.
Can I be honest? I didn't want to know that either, but that is something I was told. So now I tell everybody. So I don't have to be the only one with this information.
It doesn't even bother me because some people do and some people don't, and I don't actually care. I just don't.
You know how they have some of them, the football pants, and sometimes there's certain color of football pants, and then you're like, oh, geez, I see everything there, and then I feel bad for the guys with like the little itty bitty. It's like, you should wear a cup, dude, because you're not doing yourself any favors with that. You can't help. It's right there. I can't help it. I mean, come on. You see it. It's like,
is that Joe Milton you're talking about?
No, I've never seen him at all.
Oh.
I would not watch a Patriots game.
Oh.
Aiton's Army says, according to DraftKings, the Suns are the new odds-on favorite to acquire Jimmy Butler. Well, I think it helps that he has said that's the only team he wants to go to.
He said it's the only team that he would sign an extension with. So just so you know, if you trade me, I'll play for whoever you trade me to, but I ain't staying. So that he's trying to work this to play for the Suns. And the reports are that Matt Ishbia has already drawn up the contract for Butler. So if it goes through,
Jeffrey,
you know.
What's that, Randy?
Does Jimmy Butler have a big schlong?
You have to stop asking if people have big schlongs, or else we're going to hear from HR.
Okay. All right. Sorry.
I'm
You
sorry
got
I
me
brought
going.
that up about Milton Berle.
It shocked me about Milton Berle. Just absolutely stunned me.
Yeah, you'd watch some of his old skits a little bit differently now, wouldn't you? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Hefty Lefty says Milton burned down the Initech office after Lumberg moved his cubicle downstairs and someone took his red swing line stapler. Oh, that's right. That character's name is Milton. I burned this place down. My stapler. My stapler. Aiton's Army says the Heat were previously the favorite for Jimmy Butler. Odds movement could suggest there's possibility been some traction on trading for Butler behind the scenes.
The Suns have not been subtle about the fact that they want that.
It's about a month from the deadline, but they could do it anytime they want. So I don't know what's slowing them down.
Well, it's honestly Miami. I mean, Miami's trying to hold out to try and get as much for Jimmy as they can possibly get. And you wait for somebody to be desperate. That's why you wait until the trade deadline.
Mm-hmm.
Miami doesn't necessarily want to get rid of Jimmy. Jimmy is making a lot of noise about wanting to leave.
Has nothing to do with his schlong, Randy. I saw that look in your eye. We're not asking those questions anymore. Okay?
Are you sure?
Yeah. I think I've made myself very clear. No more schlong questions.
Think about it for a second.
No more. No, I'm not thinking about anybody's schlong.
I mean, if Jimmy Butler,
I'm thinking about my own schlong. That's it.
he's
That's
got
where
a
I draw the line at schlong thinking.
schlong.
Sorry I brought it up. No more asking about schlongs. That's a rule now. It's a
How many big
schlong-free
schlongs-
zone.
How many schlongs do you think that big schlongs do we have on the Suns?
Many. All right. Now, don't ask any more questions.
Hmm.
Great Rattlers fan. Good to know. He says, I'm hung like a light switch. Some of the people who play football are too. That's all I'm going to say. It's a Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Progressive presents a testimonial of sorts.
Hey, slow down! Oh, yeah? Well, you drive like my grandma. She's a very attentive and courteous driver who wears a seatbelt and always uses her turn signals. She's also a talented painter and has very low cholesterol. Not that that has anything to do with her drive. We just thought a more complete picture of who she is might be interesting. Anyway, have a nice day.
Safe driver? Get Snapshot from Progressive and get a personalized rate based on how you drive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Snapshot not available in California or from all agents. Surcharge possible for unsafe driving.
Now open in Scottsdale. It's United Forte Custom Door Showroom with 40,000 Euro doors and hundreds of state-of-the-art designs and finishes on display, plus kitchen cabinets, bathroom vanities, and more, all at wholesale prices. Builders, contractors, designers, and yes, you. Come see our showroom on Greenway Hayden Loop. That's United Forte, P-O-R-T-E. Stop by to see and feel the quality. United Forte Custom Doors. Find us at uporte.com. That's uporte.com.
Saturday, it's NFL football on the Fanatic.
It's defense against offense when the Chargers line up against the Texans this Saturday at 2 p.m. The Bolts defense gave up a stingy 17.7 points per game during the regular season. The Texans, however, look to revive that stat when Nico Collins and C.J. Stroud team up for some high-flying offense. It's Chargers at Texans, Saturday at 2, live.
Your home for live NFL action, the playoffs, and Super Bowl 59. 1580 The Fanatic.
Did Fire take out some of our commercials? That was a very short one. It's a Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. Silver Pops wants to know what venue my comedy thing will be. I don't know yet. Haven't decided anything yet. Just letting you know I'm working on it. The Jet says, he still wants to argue about Kevin Durant. He says, really? Efficiency? Look at his shooting percentage this year compared to 2 years ago.
And that's still not him taking a lot of shots to get his points. Like that, it's less efficient by his standards, which I cannot stress to you enough, were ungodly in the first place.
Mm-hmm. He's still
Again,
a better player than most, even if he is downgrading.
The hell are you talking about?
Coom. I think I already answered that question. Yeah, there probably are. Yes, the playoff game Monday is probably going to be here, but there hasn't been an announcement yet. Big George says RSV and norovirus are really bad at this moment in time, so be careful out there. Wash your hands frequently. Stay home if you're sick. Help stop the spread. Random texture says, "What do you mean you're not going to talk about the Lions, Penn State?" Penn State is the Lions, so you were talking about the Lions. Oh, well, see, that's not the Lions Ringless Joe wanted to talk about. He wanted to talk about the Detroit Lions, which had nothing to do with anything at all. Swazman says, Randy, do you think that since the Rams have beat up on the Cardinals here in town many times, they'll feel at home at the stadium on Monday?
No.
Well, I think they will. Yes.
Why would you say that? That's a terrible thing to say.
It's like a home field for them.
No.
And it will be, because aren't they the home team?
No.
It's not the Vikings. Are the Vikings the home team? Or
No, it's the Rams.
Rams. Yeah, it's the Rams.
The Vikings, despite having more wins, played in a tougher division that they did not win.
Berg says angry Keon is fun Keon on the radio. But I don't think Keon has fun with angry Keon. I think when Keon is angry Keon, he's just angry. I don't think he's having fun secretly underneath. Is that I'm right about
he's
that?
having a lot of fun secretly underneath.
That's
Are you kidding me?
That's pretty much correct.
Yeah.
At least right now. I mean, most days I like give a good yelly rant just for fun. I don't know. This week I'm just a little.
I think Randy and I should step aside for the last hour, and you can just go at it with the texters and just unleash full anger, get it out of your system. Would you like that?
I mean, I don't know. Whatever. I don't really.
I'm just trying to help.
It's not a thing I prefer. Just do the show.
Well, I don't want to be here when you go off.
I think we should leave right now.
Nice try, Randy. Hamilton Porter says, ask Michigan and Tennessee about how they feel about Milton.
Burl?
Again, Joe Milton.
Joe
Milton the third.
No.
Oh, yeah.
The athlete, on account of that we.
I understand Milton Berle was quite the athlete
as well. I was going to say before we got sidetracked by Schlongs, I was trying to bring it back.
Excuse me? I was talking about Schlongs, Keon. I was talking about athleticism.
You were asking many questions about that, but that's fine. But I was trying to say before we got sidetracked by it, I was trying to bring it back around to the Cardinals.
About what? What did I ask questions about?
I was trying to bring Joe Milton III back around to the Cardinals.
What does he have to do with the Cardinals?
He is a backup quarterback for the Patriots because they have Drake May. So if you are a team, say you've got a quarterback who's not very tall, that you don't very much like, that you think you can do better than, Joe Milton III might be somebody you could make a move for. He's got he
better than Kyler Murray.
I don't think he's better than Kyler Murray because he's a rookie. But he's a rookie, so you have a guy you can develop. He's got a howitzer for an arm. I mean, he just flicks his wrist and the ball goes 70 yards downfield. And he's 6'5", which
How
I think
tall is he?
He's 6'5".
No, sorry, I was asking that question as you said it. My apologies.
Yeah, it's all good. I was trying to give you guys a thing, and
keep
then
the safety on.
Everybody derailed
Randy?
my whatever. So
does he have a bigger schlong?
Stop asking schlongs. No more asking schlongs. 0% ask about that ever again.
But does he?
No, I'm not answering that question. I don't know the answer, and neither is Keon. Don't ask that question anymore.
I don't want to ask Keon. He's angry.
Latina Leprechaun says, thanks, guys. Now I'm thinking about schlongs, too. No, that's your right. Hefty Lefty says, Don Pat Riley is going to do whatever's best for the Heat, and Jimmy should probably not mess with him too much, or he's going to get a new pair of cinder block sneakers. Do you really think Pat Riley's like a made man, or just scary without that?
Oh, no. Have you seen that ring on his pinky finger? Oh, yeah.
No, you know what they call him inside the Heat building? They call him the Godfather. Like Pat Riley is not to be messed with, and if he makes a decision in the Heat organization, it stands.
Oh yeah.
If he doesn't like
pinky ring,
you're out.
I think I could pull it off.
You got to be a made man.
You have to be. If I wear a pinky ring and I'm not, they're going to get take that off.
Yeah. No, they're going to cut it off.
Yeah, I think I'll pass on the pinky ring. Thundar the San Barbarian says, a friend of mine who lives in South Pasadena, not in immediate fire danger, but still relatively close, got a warning from the city not to use tap water, though I'm not sure if that is for the whole area or just the evacuated areas.
Did you say
Well, can you hold on a second, though? Thundar, they wouldn't order you to not drink water in a place that's been evacuated because you're not supposed to be there. He says that was this morning around 10 a.m. In any case, yeah, big fire and major impact on people in the region.
Did you say Pasadena?
Yeah, it's a city. It's right there in L.A. Used to be quite nice. The Jet says it'll be nice to finally have a playoff game inside the Cardinal Stadium. You're a little late. Somebody already made that joke.
Ha 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 ha.
Tia was. Yeah, we're not talking about that anymore. Keon might walk off the show if I read your text. Joe Boo 35 says, did anyone else chime in on the pink taco? Well, that was yesterday, dude. That was. I think we got somebody listening to the podcast from yesterday while the show is on. It happens.
It does
Joe
happen
Boo.
from time to time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Silver Pop says Suns just have no fire underneath them. KD is great, but I think he just loves to play and be a star. He doesn't care too much about winning. I don't agree with that.
He cares about winning, but I don't think that he's not the guy that gets everybody fired up, which is one reason why I think the Suns are so keen on getting Jimmy Butler, because the Suns right now don't have any guy like that. The guy that gets everybody motivated and holds people accountable. More importantly, Jimmy is like that. And so I think that's one reason why they're trying to make a push for him.
Well, Ringless Joe's saying that KD maybe doesn't care too much about winning a ring. He says a lot of guys who desperately want a ring and play every game at 100% still don't win it. It's almost impossible to win a ring if you don't want to win it, no matter what, no matter how talented the team is. Well, I get what you're saying.
But yeah, Joe. But KD is one guy. the team is lacking a lot of fire. And Kevin Durant has never been the get in your face, put his finger in your chest and say, why aren't you back on defense? Why aren't you, cutting to the basket when your guy's not looking? Why, all of the different things that you're supposed to do, Kevin Durant's a lead by example guy. But sometimes you just need a guy that yells a lot. And Jimmy's that.
Yeah. Silver Pop says Keon did not say no to the idea of an hour-long rage session. Well, no, that's why I'm tempted to give it to him.
I've done it before.
Yeah, why not? I don't mind. I won't be here for it. Let's see. Fifth letter says, you're going to hell, Jeffrey. That could be for any number of things.
Yeah, you're going to have to be way more specific.
Hamilton Porter says, I've got a friend who's a concessions manager at State Farm Stadium. They're prepping like it's a foregone conclusion. The Jet says, for the most part, I agree with Keon, but age, turnovers, effort, injuries, attitude, adding up. We better trade them while we can. I just can't disagree more. Okay, forget about Keon. Everything I've seen from Kevin Durant, he's a professional. Okay, he may not be loud. He may not be the encouragement you need. And as Keon says, you can get that with Jimmy Butler. But he shows up every game. He tries hard every game. It doesn't matter what the score is. Kevin Durant is out there doing his best. He will play defense. He will go out there and put his body on the line. So, no, Kevin, I don't see the same Kevin Durant that you do, Jet.
Yeah, and if you look at his defensive efficiency numbers, which to me is you get those numbers a lot through effort. He's the best defender on the team.
Yeah, and if you're looking at them talking about getting rid of Beal, and you're looking at them trying to bring in Jimmy Butler, there is a locker room reason for this. Okay? There is a chemistry reason for this. So they haven't zoned in on Kevin Durant. They haven't zoned in on Devin Booker. They've zoned in that Bradley Beal must go. And, every indication that the Suns are giving, it's looking that way. The way they put him on the bench, man, you need a bigger sign for that. So, no, it's going to be Beal. Now, what happens coming back at us, we don't know yet.
Yeah, and of course,
but it ain't going to be Kevin Durant, and it shouldn't be Kevin Durant.
You've got to talk Bradley Beal into going because no trade clause.
Great.
Which his agent has said no one's contacted them about that at all. So
be nice if him and Jimmy Butler could just high five, and that's all. Deal's done. Lost Toby says, Cardinals? How good is Milton at Call of Duty?
Milton Berle?
No, Randy. Joe Milton.
Wish you guys
6'5". Joe Milton.
I don't know anything about the level of Call of Duty of which Joe Milton plays.
Why are we talking about Milton Berle so much on the damn show today?
Yeah, he was pretty funny. Chief Skull says the Lakers should have some fire now. Shut up. Ringless Joe says there's a great individual talent on the Suns, and I love KD, but I can't help but feel they maybe didn't need to trade away all the big money and build from scratch. That is not probably even feasible or doable. I mean, trade away all the big money.
It is, but what you're essentially saying is, yeah, we're about to be real bad for 5 to 6 years.
That's why it's not feasible.
Yeah,
it's just,
and I don't think that the fan base is ready for that. I really don't think you're going to be Wizards bad if you do that. I need you to understand that. That's a last resort.
I just got to chill when you said that.
Like that's a last resort. That's not your first option. Like you try to make this thing work. Okay, it's not working. What piece can we move to see if we can right the ship? And then if that doesn't work, I still think there are a couple other things you try before you blow the whole thing up. Because once you do that, it's 5 to 6 years of looking like the Pistons and the Wizards and a bunch of the other teams. That
Berg says the Suns already did that.
Yeah, you'd have to do it again. Everybody does this in a cycle. The Suns have had their run of being like a playoff team, and they got to a finals. Once you decide to do that again, you are starting back again from 10 years ago.
Well, we only have 3 sports to work from. We haven't done this in a while. Which team here in Phoenix you think is closest to a championship, to winning a championship? Is it the Diamondbacks? Is it the Suns? Is it the Cardinals? Now, in the past, I would say the Suns. Well, no, I don't think so. And then there was the Diamondbacks. But hell, we just went to a World Series. I don't know.
That's the reason why I would say the Diamondbacks. I mean,
but we're getting removed from that team. You know what I'm saying?
A little bit, but they're still young. They're still young.
That's a good point.
You've got a good farm system. The team is making moves this offseason. It's not the big Dodger, Yankee, Mets moves, but they are making moves. They are trying to win. I think it's the Diamondbacks who kind of shot themselves in the foot with the last few games of the season is why they missed the playoffs. If they were able to make the playoffs, who knows what they could do?
What do you think, Randy? Think the Diamondbacks are the closest? Are the Cardinals the closest? Is it the Suns?
With the moves the Diamondbacks have made recently, I think they're probably the closest. Now, if they get Jimmy Butler in here, I think the Diamondbacks are still the closest.
Jimmy Butler will play for the Suns.
I'm not a big proponent of bringing Jimmy Butler in here. Not that he's a bad player. I'm saying I don't think that's what the Suns are lacking. And I think Matt Ishbia keeps throwing money at the Suns. And I think KD's fine. And I wasn't a big fan of Bradley Beal either because of what he has shown here on this team. And does that mean that the Suns are close to a world championship?
Beal's been pretty good this season, though.
This season.
Yeah.
Sometimes pretty good doesn't fit, and he just doesn't fit.
He doesn't fit, and he costs a lot. Like those two things.
I think that Jimmy Butler's going to cost a lot too.
He is, but he's not going to cost a lot for nearly as long as Beal will, because the Beal contract goes on for like 3 more years.
I hear
Jimmy's up at the end of this year. If you sign him to an extension, you can now control how that money works. Maybe you front load it so that it's actually better for you in the end. Where the Beal contract, even 3 years from now, your cap flexibility is 0. He doesn't allow you any.
I hear what you're saying. I still think the Diamondbacks are closer to a world championship.
Well, he agrees with you on that.
Yeah, I said that.
I didn't say he didn't. I
didn't say he didn't say he didn't, and you didn't say I didn't. Nobody said anybody didn't.
But I think I don't think Butler is throwing more money at the situation. He's actually an opportunity to reduce the money. Is the point I'm trying to make. Because now
Toby thinks it's the Mercury.
Well, okay.
You're just pandering to make Keon happy.
If you count the Mercury, then yeah, it's the Mercury.
The Mercury. Would you consider them a major sport in this town?
It's getting there.
That's why I said if you count the Mercury.
We're getting to that point. The women's basketball is getting more and more popular.
Yeah, those tickets aren't as cheap as they used to be.
We're going to be at a point that I
used to be able to go get some nice Mercury tickets. I get some nice seats for not very much money, and that is no longer true. So,
the Lakers game is postponed tonight. Just so you know, that's sense. Relevant because I've got to make sure it doesn't go to dead air in Palm Springs. The state, the Fanatic in Palm Springs is the Lakers' home station. No, I wouldn't listen to it either. Berg says, what about the Phoenix Rising? No. Ringless Joe says playoff Jimmy on the Suns actually might be the key to success. Couldn't hurt.
Jimmy Butler on a team with him and Tyler Hero and Gabe Vincent and some other guys went to a finals.
Some other guys.
With some other guys. No, you've got stars.
Talking about our bench. Yeah, some other guys.
Yeah, I mean, look, Tyler Hero's a really good basketball player, but like Jimmy was the only like superstar on that team. They went to the finals, man.
I'm in. I just don't know how they're going to do it. But
I don't know either.
Swuzman says, Randy, I wouldn't feel too bad about your in-town team struggling. Chicago is really struggling. All 5 teams: Cubs, White Sox, Blackhawks, Bulls, Bears. Ugh. Yeah, it is bad in Chicago. That is no lie. The Bears, though, seem like they're starting to kind of crawl back. Dirty Bird says, for the fans that had to endure 10 years of terrible Suns play, we're not ready to blow up this team just yet.
Yeah, like try and see if this ride can go a little bit longer first.
I mean,
why blow it up so fast?
I mean, okay, but what are we accomplishing right now? We're next to nothing.
Same thing we always have.
That's what I mean. We're next to nothing. It's not like we're in first place or we're battling for first place. We're next to nothing.
That's the reason why they're talking about a trade. Like, let's see if you can get a shot of adrenaline in the arm and see if you can get this thing going.
I understand.
No one is suggesting that they do nothing and stay the course.
I understand.
Jimmy Butler would add something different and see if it works. And if it doesn't, well, then now you have to rethink your strategy.
Worse off.
I'm just saying that the texter that just texted in about not wanting to blow up this team. Yeah, I mean, look,
because you're not next to nothing. I think that you feel pessimistic, and I understand why. This team is drastically underachieving from what they were supposed to be doing with the players that they have on this roster, with the coach that they went out and hired. They should be doing better, and I understand that that's frustrating. I am a Wizards fan. That's next to nothing. They have literally won 5 games this year. I don't even know how that's possible, honestly. Like, that seems harder to do. That is what blowing up your team looks like. That reduces you to where you don't even know what the future begins to look like.
Chief Skull says, Keon, how dare you say the Suns will be the Wizards?
If you sent away Durant and Booker and Beal, you would be.
How dare you?
You might be worse, actually, if you sent away those guys.
All right, we got to take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk some college football again. That's what we were trying to do to begin with. Then we got off on the whole Suns thing, which makes me sad and depressed. So let's come back and talk a little more college football. And then we got a lot of professional football to talk about, too. It's a Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
No 2 people learn the exact same way. So how did Babbel become the award-winning language learning app? We thought of you, all of you. Take Sierra. As a visual learner, she uses Babbel's wordplay videos.
Today I'll share a quick lesson on shopping in French.
Merci beaucoup. Keith is a be in the room with real people kind of learner. So he loves the live online classes with our language experts.
Okay, class. Vos está pronto.
Estamos prontos.
However you learn, Babbel makes it easy. Try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
Shop now at the Home Depot and get up to 35% off select appliances. Plus, save up to an extra $400 on select appliances like Frigidaire. From the stainless steel French door refrigerator with crisp steel drawers to keep produce fresh longer, to the 5-burner electric range that lets you cook more at once and get meals on the table faster. Right now, get up to 35% off select appliances like Frigidaire. The Home Depot. How doers get more done. Pricing valid January 9th through January 29th. U.S. only. See store online for details and minimum purchase required.
Now open in Scottsdale. It's United Forte Custom Door Showroom with 40,000 Euro doors and hundreds of state-of-the-art designs and finishes on display, plus kitchen cabinets, bathroom vanities, and more, all at wholesale prices. Builders, contractors, designers, and yes, you. Come see our showroom on Greenway Hayden Loop. That's United Forte, P-O-R-T-E. Stop by to see and feel the quality. United Forte Custom Doors. Find us at uporte.com. That's uporte.com.
This holiday season, make sure your plans include a sober ride home. Before the party starts, make sure you have a safe way home. Call a sober friend, taxi, or rideshare, because buzz driving is still drunk driving, and drunk driving can land you in serious trouble. Don't ruin the holidays. Plan ahead and get home safe to avoid a DUI. For more information, visit drivesober.az.gov. This message is sponsored by the Governor's Office of Highway Safety.
All right, so there we were, cruising through the new open air zoo when I realized that the park was closing in like 15 minutes. That's when the afternoon took an exciting turn. Luckily, we were in my Nissan Rogue. With its powerful DC turbo engine, well, we had more than enough time to see all the animals. Whoa! And outrun a few.
Drive the Nissan Rogue. Now, Nissan offers 6 vehicles starting under $30,000 MSRP. Shop at your local Nissan store or at nissanusa.com. 2024 Nissan Altima, Kicks, Leaf, Rogue, Sentra, and Versa. All prices are manufacturer's suggested retail price. Manufacturer's suggested retail price excludes destination and handling charges, tax, title, license, and options. Dealer sets actual prices.
If it's local, we talk about it. 1580 and 99.3. The Fanatic. The Fanatic.
Hey, Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. Yeah, Big George, I saw that too. The Eaton fire in LA is burning the transmitter radio and television towers right now. And so those are at risk or maybe currently on fire. He says, so now they got to go to their auxiliary sites if they have them. I'll tell you, a lot of radio stations do not have them because they're very expensive. And he says, do you have auxiliary site if stuff hits the fan here? Yeah, it's called the internet. We will be an internet radio station if that were to happen. So, but no, we're not in the same clusters as most of the radio stations up on South Mountain. So we're not part of that cluster. So, but whatever the case, no, it's very expensive. And boy, time consuming to rebuild that kind of stuff, or if anything like that happens. So yeah, I mean, I wouldn't care about the radio stations in LA so much with all the destruction and all the other stuff, except for those same towers are providing communications for the first responders and everybody else. You know, it may not be about the radio stations as much as it is about the first responders and their walkie-talkies and stuff like that. But radio also in any time of disaster or need does provide valuable information. And I guarantee you every LA radio station is performing that duty as we speak. duty. Anyway, so now, yeah, it's a bad thing, but it's worse if it takes out the ability for the first responders to communicate. That's more important. Ringless Joe says the Bears are deader than dead. They're a rug on the floor of the Lions throne room. Okay. Chief Skull says Russia or China dragged an anchor and is taking out the TV and radio towers in LA. What? What are you talking about? Nothing you just said makes any sense.
That's not how any of that works at all.
Navy Brad says, hey, Randy, your puppy looks very happy there. And my puppy says hello. Stella.
Stella says hi. And she also says to lay down and behave. Thank you.
I won't out you on that. Yeah. So, yeah, remember old Deion Sanders?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember him. Yeah.
You know, guy with 7 toes. And
he was a coach of college football somewhere.
Still is.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Coach Sanders, 7 toes in a dream Sanders. He's doing fine. And so they remember when we were talking, they were like, oh, so his son is going into the draft.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, say, Deion, are you going to go coach in the NFL? He's no, I love it here in Colorado.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You're going to go to the NFL? No. I love it in Colorado. You sure you're not going to go coach in the NFL? Maybe there? No. I love it. Love it in Colorado. We do it in Colorado. Do it in Boulder. Love Boulder. So now they keep asking the question, and now the answer is starting to change. Here's the latest. The only way I would consider coaching in the NFL is to coach my sons.
I think he thinks it's unlikely.
99% sure, he says, that Colorado's bowl game was his final opportunity to coach Shedeur and Shiloh, unless he goes to the NFL.
Yeah.
He has now opened the door.
I
guess.
I
don't know if anybody's going to knock on that door.
No one's going to knock on that door.
Did Colorado were they in a bowl game?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
It was a pointless bowl.
I'll be dipped.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
They were bowl eligible, yeah.
You don't even remember what bowl it was, do you?
Nope.
Don't look it up.
No, I don't remember the specific names of any bowl games except for, obviously the Pop-Tart Bowl, because it was memorable. And then the Mayonnaise Bowl disgusted me in literally every aspect of that broadcast.
They should shut that bleep down.
Yeah. So I already don't remember the bowl game names, but yeah, I mean,
Moist One says BYU stomped them in that bowl game.
Yeah.
They did?
Wasn't good.
So yeah, I see Deion Sanders keeps saying, love Colorado, love what we're doing, love. But now he has creaked that door open a little bit, but only if he gets to coach his sons. And by the way, Shedeur Sanders, Travis Hunter, they're going to have their own private draft day party in Boulder. So there'll be a camera on them. They're not going to be at the actual draft. Why would they do that? Wouldn't you think they'd want that moment?
Some guys don't.
Hug old Puffy, not Puffy like P. Diddy. I'm talking about Roger Goodell. He's very puffy. Get the hug, and get get the camera on you, get the crowd cheering for you. I don't want that. Huh?
I think a lot of players care about that, but I don't think the Sanders do. And getting recognition from the people around you and on your team, you'd be watching it with them. Yeah, I think that's going to be more their focus, and it's all good.
Travis Hunter will go in the top 5, maybe top 3, right? Travis Hunter?
Yeah.
Shedeur Sanders, where do you see him going? He's not going to be 1 or 2.
He might be 1.
Just because of the quarterback need.
Because of the quarterback need, and because he is a good quarterback. He's not like last year, we just had an unusual amount, but he was a good quarterback. I think Colorado just didn't have a lot of talent, like outside of the guys you just named. where was the rest of the talent?
Yeah. But, 4,134 passing yards, 37 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. And, but is that show you an NFL quarterback? Do you see him NFL ready? Because having those stats, but then playing the teams they were playing, we just mentioned they went to the Who Gives a Crap Bowl. So it's not like that team itself did much. But if you watch the play of Shedeur Sanders, did you see an NFL quarterback there or somebody who's going to be a project?
No, I saw an NFL quarterback. Now I don't know how high the ceiling goes. And I think that part of the process of evaluating him is going to be seeing that. But as far as does Shedeur Sanders see the field well? Yeah, he does. Does he move around in the pocket well? He does. He doesn't just tuck the ball and run at the first sign of trouble. He's got a good arm. I think he's a really good quarterback.
Okay. So whoever goes first is going to be position oriented, not necessarily talent oriented, because Travis Hunter is the most talented player that you're going to have in this draft.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of the draft big boards have Shedeur maybe listed as like the 10th or 11th best player in the draft, but he plays the most important position. So if you've got a chance to take that, there's just no reason why you go, well, he's not the best player in the draft, so I won't draft my quarterback. If you're sitting there and you're the Browns, for instance, teams might also like Cam Ward from Miami a little bit better. I like Ward too, but I think that Ward has a lot of times where just the game, he makes weird mistakes that I find concerning. But I think that's coachable stuff. It's just, do you think that those mistakes will continue with Ward, or do you like the Shedeur Sanders? He's more steady, kind of makes the right play far more often.
Chief Skull says, well, the sports station in Denver this week disagreed with you, Keon. As if Keon gives a crap, but we'll hear you out. He says they stated that Shedeur needs to go to the right fit, and the Giants may think he's a running quarterback when he isn't. And he also has a slow release.
I don't find his release to be that slow.
I think the ladies love a man with a slow release.
But also, if he goes, I don't know why would you assume the Giants would do that outside of they're the Giants? Because the Giants could just mess up any quarterback. Like, nothing is special about Shedeur. Have you seen how the Giants have been running their front office lately?
Well, I mean, I think the Giants have the third pick.
Yeah. So
they're not going to get Shedeur.
I don't think he's like a right fit type of situation. He's a natural mover in the pocket. I don't know what about his game needs to be a specific fit. What do you even mean by that?
Joe Boo 35 says, doesn't that tell you something about his lack of confidence in his son's ability to succeed under another coach and or his confidence of another coach?
I think he just likes coaching his sons. That's why he went to Jackson State, coached them there. That's why he brought them with him to Colorado. And apparently that's why he would go to the NFL if he went to the NFL.
Hefty Lefty says, is that tackle from Texas going third? Probably. I'd say fourth if he's not going to go third. You got quarterback needy team.
Well, the thing is, if you've got the top two quarterbacks off the board and the next group of guys are second rounders, you're going to take the tackle next.
Well, that'll be the Patriots then. And the Patriots need a quarterback.
No, they don't. They got Drake May. They just drafted him, and Drake May was good. Drake May was good.
All right.
He was good.
So the Titans quarterback, the Browns quarterback, the Giants, they would probably take Travis Hunter because that's the best player sitting there. So then the Patriots would get your Texas tackle. What's his name? The Texas tackle. I don't even want to know. Let's just call him that forever.
The Texas tackle.
Yeah, whatever his name is in the future, we call him Texas tackle.
Kelvin Banks.
The Berg says Kellogg's Alamo Bowl. Moist One says, heard Shedeur and Travis Hunter's girlfriend are having a party and Travis will be waiting outside in the car. Swissman says, Jeffrey, remember Aaron Rodgers sitting there till pick 25. Camera's on him the whole time. That's why players avoid some of those shenanigans.
And he was supposed to go much higher than that.
They knew something that we know now. Historian says,
well, hold on. If you look at all the teams that passed on him, they were in quarterback wildernesses for years. And also, Aaron did win a Super Bowl. Like, if they knew something, they should have also known Super Bowl. I would trade all the other BS that Aaron Rodgers comes with if I got the Super Bowl he came with, too.
Not if you've had one lately.
Okay, well, I haven't had one lately. And my team passed on him and drafted Carlos Rodgers instead of Aaron Rodgers.
I mean, that was a mistake. That's a very Washington Commandos thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
They sent up the paper and they're like, Carlos Rodgers. And they're like, wait, what? Well, no. Oh, God. God damn it.
Absolutely.
It's possible.
It's the wrong Rodgers.
Yeah, it was
Dan
very
Snyder
possible.
stepped off of his yacht drunk, called the general manager and said, hey, drafted Carlos Rodgers.
No.
The quarterback is Aaron, sir. Carlos.
You give me Carlos. You want to get fired? It's Carlos. Historian says it was the Pointless Bowl. Chief Skull says they said Cam Ward to the Titans, Hunter to Cleveland if Dion allows that, and Shedeur to the Giants.
I mean,
you think Cleveland would not take a quarterback right now?
They absolutely would.
They'd be out of their minds.
They
Out of their
absolutely
minds
would.
not to take a quarterback. So there's no way Hunter's going there. George says, breaking news, AJ Puke and the Arizona Diamondbacks have settled arbitration for a nearly $3 million salary for the 2025 season. Puke is back to blow games down the stretch for the Diamondbacks. How do you say
That
his
would
name?
be Puck.
Right. That guy. He's going to be back next year for $3 million.
Okay.
Carlos, I mean, Randy seems pretty happy. Carlos.
Sports betting apps are not created equal. Dylan Cohen from Beat the Book here to talk about the Sport Trade Advantage. With higher payouts, Sport Trade is the ultimate sports betting experience. Sport Trade is the first sports betting app that gives you the option to see the odds expressed as probabilities, and it's changing in-game betting forever. If it's easier to understand 52% probability of winning versus minus 108 odds, then Sport Trade is for you. With this percent odds feature, cashing out now makes much more sense. As the win probability changes, so does the value of your bet. And if you're an experienced bettor and prefer American odds, you'll get pricing closer to minus 106 versus the normal minus 110, coupled with instant in-play betting. No more spinny wheels. So download Sport Trade today to see the difference and beat the book. Use promo code 1580 to earn 10% cash back on every bet you place in your first week. Terms apply.
Sport Trade is regulated by the Arizona Department of Gaming. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at getethos.com. That's getethos.com.
Hey, son, what you doing?
Looking around for jobs, offices, 9 to 5. I don't want anything boring.
You know, Brian's son is in the Phoenix Police Academy. Pretty sure he's not bored.
I never thought of that.
Check out joinphxpd.com and take a look.
Over 80 specialty details like detective and canine handler. What else? Dignitary protection, 911 operator? They have aviation and dive team jobs?
Rise to serve. Find more today at joinphxpd.com. Protect and serve with the elite. Sponsored by the City of Phoenix.
Hey, everybody, it's Mark Asher back to tell you about my great friends at the Lund Mortgage Team. Did you know that the Lund Mortgage Team was founded back in 1999? That's right. They're celebrating 25 years in existence this year. And you know what you have to do to stay in business that long? You have to be good at what you do. And the Lund Mortgage Team is not just good, they are great. They have helped thousands of people save thousands of dollars over those 25 years here in the Valley of the Sun. They only lend in Arizona. And they're mortgage brokers, which means they can shop your rate around. They're not tied to just one set of rates. Mortgage rates can get crazy. They can get high. They can get low. There's good times to strike and there's times to stay on the sideline. Let the Lund Mortgage Team be your coach, be your team leader when it comes to these huge decisions. Call 623-875-9940. That's 623-875-9940, or you can always check them out at lundmortgage.com. Great website with all the tools you need. Call them today. They're my great friends, and you'll love them. It's the Lund Mortgage Team.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K257CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K240 EU Mountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
It's time for the third hour.
All right, people, settle down because it's time.
Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's 5 o'clock here on the Daily Blender. Your good friend, Radio Pound, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White. Got Keon Rhodes in the control room, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, as we broadcast live in the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale. And, all right, so what do you think of A.J. Puck coming back for another year, Randy?
Well, I don't know if he's going to be back an entire season. I mean, he's a he's a decent pitcher. He's a budget guy, and that's what the Diamondbacks like. They like those budget players, and they avoided arbitration with him, and he's under contract with the Diamondbacks. So we'll have to wait and see how that works out. Diamondbacks don't usually play where they have a normal closer. It's always been sort of like a closer by committee. So if Puck's doing okay and they feel like he can be the closer or the long reliever, so to speak, or the guy to get him from 8 to 9 and set up the closer, the setup guy they call him, I'm for it. I can't go on what happened last year. You've got to look forward and see what happens this year. So we'll wait and see.
Hoping for the best.
Yep.
Navy Devil says taking Carlos Rogers is a better mistake than being the Vikings and letting the clock expire during your pick.
Yeah, that also happened. Mm-hmm.
When did that happen?
I think that same draft.
Jesus. What happens when you do that?
You just lose your pick.
You lose a pick?
Yeah. You just don't
the
get a
Vikings
you just don't get a
negated
play.
to make a pick, so the clock will now start over, and we'll move on to the Raiders.
That had to be a long time ago. I don't think that anyone would make that mistake now. Hefty Lefty says Carlos was the name of the steward on Dan's yacht. I see why he got him mixed up.
Yeah.
No, I think he's got a point.
He just the last Rodgers he saw. Yeah.
So it makes things more difficult in a very thin quarterback draft when one of the quarterbacks that might have been drafted, former Georgia quarterback Carson Beck, he's like, hey, I'm going to go to the draft. Everybody's like, oh, yeah? He's like, no, I'm going back into the portal. So he's decided not to go into the draft. He's gone into the NCAA portal.
Yeah, I mean,
what's going on there?
Well, he had surprise Tommy John surgery, so his chances of getting drafted this year and maybe even a good situation, it would be tough for him. He may even go undrafted depending on what teams feel about him. So rather than go through all of that, because he could have had a chance in this college football playoff to show more of what he was, but his team had a bye week, and then by the time they got to play their opponent, Gunnar Stockton was the quarterback of the team. So, give yourself another year, get yourself a top NFL deal if you can get it. He's certainly good enough that if he plays at a high enough level, he'll be back in that conversation next year. And I think that's kind of smart.
I'm kind of hung up on surprise Tommy John surgery. Is it like they throw you a party and then all of a sudden they just grab you and throw you down on the
surprise?
table?
No, it just turns out. Or he had a sprained UCL, kind of the similar injury to what Brock Purdy has. And it looked like he didn't need surgery. And then, the playoffs started and they were like, oh, we got bad news for you.
I'm just saying,
you're going to need that surgery.
A surprise surgery on me, I'd probably have the shakes every time I try to walk in a door.
Surprise!
Looking around all the time.
Here's a surprise vasectomy for you, Jeff. Go.
I wouldn't mind that.
Yeah, well,
I'd be a mess,
maybe not a surprise.
Yeah,
just let me see it coming.
I get the intervention.
Let me mentally brace for that one.
Swazman says, remember during COVID shutdown, Joe Burrow and his fellow draftees were supposed to be carted out on a boat across the fountain in Vegas to the stage, and then they never did that. And then I remember it was all at home and everybody's in their basements, including Goodell. It was just and
he was drunk.
Oh God,
that is my favorite draft. Precisely,
I salute him.
He was like 12 picks in and he was already slurring. It was magnificent.
I didn't mind that at all. Nobody blamed him either. Not one bad story is like, hey, Goodell's drunk. I'm like, yeah, we all are. It's COVID.
Who is it?
Hefty Lefty says they put a little cone hat on the elbow x-ray. Well, yeah, I got to make it festive. No, absolutely. So, all right, Carson Beck going back to school. That's fine. We all talked about this earlier, how the Raiders fired Tom Telesco. So no GM, no coach, no hope. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it just makes sense. If you're going to go for the clean start, you might as well do it all the way. There's no point in halfway doing it. I mean, it just depends. Because if you didn't like the last coach or the last couple of coaches that the general manager hired, are you going to give him another crack at this? Because that's the path that the Bears have taken. Ryan Poles has put a good enough roster together, but they can't ever seem to get the coach right. And they keep hiring Eberflus and Nagy and like guys they have no business hiring to be head coaches. You got to get one of these correct.
Well, I was reading today that I guess you're going to be losing your offensive coordinator. He's interviewing for the Chicago Bears head coaching position.
Keon wishes. Yes, Kingsbury's being interviewed by a couple different teams.
I actually don't mind him. I think coordinator is exactly where he should be and nowhere else. But if the Bears want him, well, I guess they can have him.
Oh no!
But I don't know that he's a shoo-in for the job.
I wonder. You know how they fired Tom Telesco from the Raiders?
Mm-hmm.
How much you want to bet they knew they were going to do that like last week? And he's like, hey, I need you to go fire Antonio Pierce. Okay, yeah. Or when do we want to do it? No. There's no we, just you. He's like, yeah, all right. I'm GM. I'll handle this.
I sure hope that's not how it went down.
And then they fired him, and he's like, oh, damn it. I should have known that was happening. So the Jaguars requested an interview with Steve Spagnuolo. Who else is interviewing him? I thought his name would be more in the news than some of these other guys. Spagnuolo, that's a guy who definitely should be a coach somewhere. That guy's a genius.
I mean, a genius coordinator, right? We'll see if the head coaching aspect of that works out, because he's been a head coach before.
Yeah, for the Rams back in the day, and
we,
Giants for a minute.
It was okay. And so the thing with that is, has he learned
14 years ago?
Has he learned from that? That's the real question. Some coaches, they get fired, and it doesn't matter how long it's been since they last had a try. You hire them again, and they are right back to the old ways that they had before. So that's what the interview process is. I think that, I don't know that he's necessarily the hottest name, just because I think a lot of these teams are looking for offensive-minded coaches, and the defensive-minded coaches kind of get put on the back burner. But yeah, I think that he'll probably find himself somewhere.
Sure. Adam Schefter basically listed the schedule for Ben Johnson. Friday morning, Patriots. Friday evening, Raiders. Saturday morning, Bears. Saturday evening, Jaguars. That guy. Now
that's the hot commodity.
He's a coaching whore. He's just going to be getting dinners and wine and roses from everybody.
It's all virtual.
Oh, that's right.
Because he's coaching. He can't go to any of those things.
That sucks for him. He could have gotten many freebies.
That's why Vrabel is like, stretching and having a good time, because I'm not employed right now. You want to wine and dine me? Let's go.
Hey, I got a question. This is a question that I want to ask so much that I want to remember. I typed it out. How you like that? Don't look at it. Here's the question.
It's try.
So at CRC Broadcasting, when we hire somebody, like I said, when we hired you, we did not announce every person we were interviewing. We didn't come out and say, today we interviewed some really obnoxious douchebag from Payson. We've talked to a guy from Chattanooga, and we didn't list off a bunch of names of the people that we were interviewing.
Right.
We did interview a very obnoxious guy from Payson. Remember him?
Yes.
That real cocky, smarmy guy. He's like, I got this job. I'm like, you don't. So we don't have to announce.
You don't.
Why does the NFL do it? Is that part of their rules that they have to say? Because every tweet I've seen from any of the teams has been, we have concluded our interview with so-and-so. Like, okay, you don't need to tell everybody your business. Why are you telling everybody just tell us when you hire somebody. So my question is, does the NFL have to announce who they're interviewing? You know what I'm saying? Or is this just something they do because they want likes and clicks? I don't know. I mean, it just seems kind of a weird thing, unless they have to do it.
Yeah, I don't think they have to. Yeah, I think it's more of a media thing. I think the NFL likes it because they want the NFL to be a year-round sport, and part of that is this is part of the process, the coaching part, and obviously the draft and free agency and everything else. I haven't seen anywhere that they have to announce it. I will say that if the coach is already employed, I think they might have to announce it. But I don't think they have to announce every.
Yeah, they were listing
interview.
off Vrabel. I mean, he's like an assistant to an assistant or something.
I don't think Vrabel's employed at all. I think he just took some time.
That's right.
Off.
His contract. No, his contract expired.
Yeah,
that's what it is. Where he was.
But he wasn't working for anybody, so they wouldn't have had to.
He was. Wasn't the Browns even?
Who was it? I don't think so.
No, he was being an assistant. And I remember seeing somewhere that his contract ran out, which gave him the ability just to walk around and do whatever he wanted.
I think the contract that he had, let's see.
Excuse me. Pardon me. Was that you or the dog?
That was me. That was me.
He was a consultant for the Browns.
Yeah, Berg says yes, the Browns. But see, he'd still had an employment contract with them, which ran out in time for him to do these things. Unless I'm thinking of somebody.
And I don't know how being a consultant necessarily works. I don't know that that's like a day-to-day kind of job. I have no idea. I'll be honest.
Yeah,
like what capacity, how much was he involved with anything?
Any consultants listening? Anybody as a consultant listening?
I'm guessing they had defensive questions and they asked him.
My opinions have never been so good that anybody's like, we need you to consult us.
Yeah, me neither.
I've given a lot of good advice that's gone completely unlistened to. It's probably why I've not made any money as a consultant. Hefty Lefty says it's probably a standard 6-month 1099 contract. Yeah, probably. Moist One says, I'm a plastic surgery consultant. Then that's not the same thing. You just go around telling people they're ugly. That's not making you a consultant. Hefty Lefty says, no, that's what we give our independent adjusters at my work. They can sign an extension if we need them to. I feel like football might be different, but I don't know. What do I know? Hey, by the way, congratulations to CBS Sports' Jim Nance. He's going to call his 500th game with CBS. 500. That's a lot of damn games.
That's a lot of games.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if Al Michaels has more. I don't know that he's. I don't know. I'm curious. This is going to be his 21st AFC Championship game later this month when he calls it. But yeah, 500 games. We're lucky he got this far because he's been calling them for a minute with Romo, and that makes it probably a lot of like I could retire. You know, he's been doing this since 1988.
Yes, he has.
And his first Super Bowl was the one my Colts won. So kind of always remember him for that.
Yeah, I do. I wonder because like there's some guys that do obviously their local broadcast and they're there forever. Like Vin Scully did like 10,000 games or something like that. I saw a stat that he called like 4.5% of all the games in Major League Baseball history.
That's amazing. No, I bet with Jim Nance, I'm just curious if anybody's done as many consecutive.
Well, keep in mind, it hasn't been just football. He's also
playoffs
and he's done
and college basketball and
college basketball.
Well, no, I'm talking only about NFL games. I know he's had a storied career.
So this is just NFL 500.
Golf. Mm-hmm. How about golf, friends?
Yeah, huge.
Because if they say 500 games, with just CBS, is there enough football games for him to get to 500 with just football, or are they counting the basketball stuff he's done too?
No, this is all football.
Okay, I was just asking. I don't know.
Well, now I got to look at this closer. No, yeah, he's called. Here it is. Here's the stats.
Okay,
431 regular season games, 69 playoff games, 7 Super Bowls.
Wow.
So no. That's football alone. Doesn't count all the golf. And let me just tell you, Hefty Lefty, you're right. He says the Masters is a godsend break that he needs from the NFL booth every year. Yeah. And he's probably like Nance has probably had enough of Romo talking to him about golf, being like, "Yeah, I know, I'm pretty good." It's like, oh God, I do the Masters. You are not that good. Forget it. But Romo, I'm sure gets on his damn nerves.
I mean, he lives on the 7th hole at Pebble Beach, for God's sakes. You kidding me?
Remember that thing we saw where Tom Brady and Peyton Manning were playing golf on his little putter green and behind his house? It was like a real golf course back there.
Yeah.
Kyle G says teams probably lost their interviews to keep fans. They list them to keep them encouraged for the next year, remain invested in the team, but seemed to pick up after some of the Rooney Rule worries from several years ago when teams were accused of not doing the process correctly. Oh, so you're saying this like they're trying to be more transparent about how they're doing stuff.
Yeah, it's a little bit of transparency and it's a little bit of, hey, if you hire a coach that your fan base likes, you might get the season tickets again, even though you're not very good.
Yeah, but nobody's doing nothing until they see who you hire, right? Nobody's doing nothing.
Yeah, but if you keep them engaged in the whole process, then they're more likely to follow along and be invested so that when you hire the guy they like, they already feel like they've been a part of it.
The Berg says he met Jim Nance about 20 years ago or so. Really nice guy. Yeah, he seems like one of those guys that's front to back, top to bottom. That's just a nice guy. Just a nice guy. Beer Bob says, wow, that is like 27 straight years of just doing a regular season game even. Well, I think I told you how many years it was, but yeah. Zaccaroni says 431 games, 16 games a season. No, actually, yeah, that's about 27 regular seasons. Hold on. Let me get my piece of paper here. Started in 1988. How many years ago is 88?
36.
All right. So he didn't do like 16 straight games a year. He did select games, probably had some other responsibilities. Maybe there was some time where he was doing, he does March Madness too, right?
Yep.
He does the golf. He does all kinds of different things. So, that's 431 regular season games, not doing 16 a year. So it's not 27 years. It is, what did you say? 36?
Yeah, 36, 37.
You sure?
Yeah, because I was born in 90. So I just added 2.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay. You were born in 90?
Mm-hmm.
I graduated high school in 89. That's weird. Zacharoni says, Beer Bob beat me to it. Moist One says, Jim Nantz keeps a picture of toast in his pocket when he travels so he can show how he likes it at restaurants.
What? I don't know what that means.
I don't get it.
I don't get the joke there.
Is that real? It might be real. Because if you travel a lot, you're like, listen, here's how I want my toast. He says, no, it's real. That sounds like a stand-up comedian thing, or just somebody like a musician, somebody who's traveled a lot. Okay, so he's a little bit of a diva if he's doing this.
A little bit, but even if it's not true, just the mental image of Jim Nantz doing that is already funny enough by itself.
I want because he'll do it so polite. I want to see. I'm actually Googling it. Jim
Hello,
Nantz
friends.
Here's
how I like my toast.
Picture. I got to see this. Has he ever shown anyone? Boy, this story has been around a long time. I want to see his picture of toast. I want to see how it feels. I want to know if I like it the same way he does. But
I've never had strong enough opinions on toast to even have that.
I Googled it, but they don't have pictures of what he likes.
Someone actually took various pictures of toast
right,
and arranged them one from 16, one being charred to all hell, 16 being basically not toasted.
Well, then
and you want to know which one.
Yeah.
But that's the mystery.
Which one? I like it to be a 10 or maybe a 13. I could do a 13.
I like the 8.
But the numbers on this aren't even really a good
they're
scale.
They're not even in order, really.
Yeah, they're not. Yeah. Well, this is bullcrap. Whoever did this is bullcrap. I'm just turning this off now. So is anyone listening to us talk about toast?
Apparently he was on the Dan Patrick Show explaining why he did it. So I don't.
Was it Jim Nantz? Did Jim Nantz put
Jim Nantz explains why he carries a picture of toast.
You have the picture of toast?
I don't have the picture of toast, but there's
a
video.
I need to know what his toast looks like.
During the break, I will watch the video and see if there's a picture of toast, and then I can maybe send you a screenshot or something.
Yeah, I need to see Jim Nantz's toast. Wait, there's a picture of Jim Nantz's toast on Twitter. Somebody snuck a picture of it at the table. Oh no, that's not real.
Now people,
that's just somebody with the name Jim Nantz's toast.
There are rumors that the toast is burnt, and he specifically doesn't think he's going to be believed. Basically,
he wants it that way.
He wants it that way, people are like, "Are you sure?" No, I'm not playing around. This is not a joke. I want my toast like that. I know it's unbelievable, but you got to do that.
Jim Nantz says, this whole Toastgate thing has been fabulous. I mean, for 2 days, I'm getting asked about it wherever I go. Burnt toast is what he likes.
Yeah,
he loves burnt toast.
I think he just doesn't think that people will believe
there's something wrong with Jim Nantz.
How burnt he would like his toast.
Am I wrong? There's something wrong with Jim Nantz. Are you trying to get the cancer? That's where all the carcinogens are. It's in burnt stuff.
Something a little bit, yeah. Just a bit.
You're trying to get cancer, Nantz.
Just a scotch.
Is it because Nantz almost rhymes with cancer? You know what I'm saying?
Maybe.
What the hell's wrong with him? Zacharoni says, what does Nantz eat during the games, he calls? Because he sounds like a lot of stadium hot dogs. Jim Nantz? I've never heard him like chewing on the air. Have you? I haven't heard that.
Apparently he likes his bread burnt, so I don't know that the stadium hot dogs are going to quite do it.
Quiet Cannon says, toast has to be sourdough, extra crispy, light butter. Always comes out different every time, but at least try. Is that what Nantz says, or is that just yours? I don't really want to know what everybody's toast is.
Yeah, you can't keep that to yourself.
Randy, how do you like your toast?
I like a sourdough, heavy on the butter.
Heavy on the butter.
On the butter.
Like between 1 and 10, how cooked?
Oh, probably a 7.
Yeah, like minus an 8, maybe. How about you, Keon?
About a 6.
Can I tell you what I like to do? I'm going to tell you what I like to do. I don't care if we're running late for a break. I'm going to tell you what I like to do. Toast the bread, right? Toast the bread. I let it sit in the toaster for a little bit so it gets crunchy. You know what I mean? So it's not hot, but it stiffens up and it's crunchy. I like crunchy toast. You ever do that?
I don't know if I want it that crunchy.
No. Maybe not on purpose, but you've done it.
Well, yeah, I've done it on purpose. Yeah.
And the butter kind of
on accident, rather. Yeah.
Yeah. I love it that way. I do. But I like it where it soaks in too, and you're like, it's good. All right, we got to take a break. I don't know why you let me go on talking about toast so long.
I don't know either, to be honest.
It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
This is Brent Musburger's Action Update on 1580 and 99.3, The Fanatic. Brought to you by G-Bank. Earn cashback rewards on every eligible gaming transaction. vsin.com/GBank. Subject to credit approval. Terms and conditions apply.
The NFL playoffs start on Saturday. The Los Angeles Chargers will be in Houston to take on the Texans. Los Angeles, a 3-point road favorite, -105 against the spread. Houston, -115. LA, -155 on the money line. Houston, +135, and the over-under 42.5. Chargers, the number one scoring defense in the NFL, giving up just 17 points per game. The nightcap Saturday has Pittsburgh taking on Baltimore, AFC North rivals. The Ravens favored by 9.5 points. They're on a 4-game win streak. Steelers have lost 4 in a row. Pittsburgh +360 on the money line. The Ravens are -500. The over-under 43.5. I'm Tony Desiri with your VSiN Action Update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Let's say you've got questions. You're looking into solar, but you don't know where to start. Well, Harman Solar has the answers. Hi, I'm Jeffrey O'Brien, and listen, there's a couple of ways you can go here. One, visit harmansolar.com, browse around, because right across the page, they got links to all sorts of great information, like frequently asked questions, equipment, tax credits, even testimonials. Or just give them a call, 800-281-3189. Ask them directly. They'd love to hear from you. That's 800-281-3189. Or just go to harmansolar.com.
No two people learn the exact same way. So how did Babbel become the award-winning language learning app? We thought of you, all of you. Take Sierra. As a visual learner, she uses Babbel's wordplay videos.
Today I'll share a quick lesson on shopping in French.
Merci beaucoup. Keith is a be in the room with real people kind of learner. So he loves the live online classes with our language experts.
Okay, class. ¿Vos está pronto?
Estamos prontos.
However you learn, Babbel makes it easy. Try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
Shop now at the Home Depot and get up to 35% off select appliances. Plus, save up to an extra $400 on select appliances like Frigidaire. From the stainless steel French door refrigerator with crisp steel drawers to keep produce fresh longer, to the 5-burner electric range that lets you cook more at once and get meals on the table faster. Right now, get up to 35% off select appliances like Frigidaire. The Home Depot. How doers get more done. Pricing valid January 9th through January 29th. U.S. only. See store online for details and minimum purchase required.
AZ Preps 365, your source for all the news, info, highlights, and more. Athlete news and interviews. Talk with coaches. Keep you up to date with the changes, moves, upcoming events, and more. AZ Preps 365, Arizona's ultimate prep sports show. If you miss a minute, you miss a lot. AZ Preps 365, Saturday mornings 8 till 10 on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic, and always on at 1580thefanatic.com.
Saturday, it's NFL football on The Fanatic.
Saturday at 6, the Steelers travel to Baltimore to take on the Ravens in an AFC North battle. The Ravens blew out the Steelers in Week 16. Will the Steelers enact revenge on their rivals, or will the Ravens MVP candidate Lamar Jackson carve up the Steelers again to move on? Steelers at Ravens, Saturday at 6.
Your home for live NFL action, the playoffs, and Super Bowl 59. 1580 The Fanatic.
Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. I was just scrolling through and I saw this old promo shot. Remember that? I don't remember what the show was called. There was a little robot girl in the 80s. Remember her? She was like, it was like Different Strokes, but with a robot girl. Remember her? She'd walk around.
Yes.
And there was a very special episode, right, where she tries smoking, you know? And so there's this picture, and the robot girl's sitting on the bed with a couple of boys, you know, they're like 8. and she's got a cigarette there, and the boy is reaching over, lighting it for her. And all I could think when I saw that was, what a gentleman, just somebody raised him right, Let me. That kid's got game. That kid's got game for life. He's always just like, he's got to just carry that lighter and just be like, allow me, very romantic. I just say that kid. Oh yeah, smoking's bad, but whatever. Yeah. That kid is a gentleman. Yeah, he's got Riz, is what the kids say, Boys One. You're right. Usually when I see any word with IZZ in it, I just pass right over it from you. I'm not reading any more of that. Bruno Baller says, crunchy toast, peanut butter and jelly, great sandwiches. Oh yeah, I make my kids those all the time. Let's see here. Beer Bob says maybe he just had enough working with Tony Romo. That's why he wants to get the can. Sir.
No, because this is before Tony Romo.
I think you'd quit before you try to get cancer.
This is before Tony Romo. He says he also just likes to do it because it's fun to watch you give it to the server looks at the toast, looks at you, goes back to the kitchen, tells the chef comes out because they now have to see what crazed individual has burnt toast as their ideal toast, and everybody laughs about it. Then he gets his toast. He likes the whole process of that.
I feel like he might be lonely if that's the case. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I just think he's a social guy.
Is he married?
Yeah.
Yes.
I can't believe his wife lets him get away with it.
I'm sorry. Well, because he does this more when he's like on the road.
There's no way she'd let him get away with this.
So I don't think he does it when he goes out with her. I don't think, but I don't know.
My wife tried to put a new rule on me today.
Maybe she's just also as odd a person,
Oh, that's a good point. My wife, I brought up to her how we were talking to him the other day. What were we talking about? Oh, and we went to San Diego, and Randy, you weren't here. You got to hear about this.
Okay.
So I've told the story before how when we go to San Diego, the first time we went there together, she took me to this restaurant, which is really cool and authentic that she loved. She used to live there. And she's like, here, try this. And I tried chorizo, and I loved it. And then later she says, you can't have that. I'm like, wait, what? You introduced me to this. She's like, no, but that's it. You can't, maybe once a year you can have this. And I was like, well, I'm having it every a couple days right now. She's like, oh my God, you're going to die. Don't. And so I was like, fine. And, and then we talked about this yesterday, and I don't care. I told her, I just want this once. And in the course of me telling her that here's what I want once, somebody told us that there is a place in San Diego that has a hamburger that is 50% ground beef and 50% ground bacon.
What?
I know.
What?
I got to have one just once. That is like the worst possible thing I could probably eat. Should have eaten it in my 20s. Definitely not in my 50s, but I think I'm allowed to eat it once. So I tell her this, and she's like, no. And I'm like, come on, I got to do it. She's like, all right. She says, but you're only allowed to ever eat chorizo when you're in San Diego. I'm like, I don't agree to that. What? I got a pipeline now. Ralph's wife makes chorizo willy-nilly. He doesn't eat it because he's all gluten-free.
Wait, that has nothing to do with gluten. He just doesn't like it.
I might be able to get me some chorizo. I can agree to once a month. I can negotiate to once a month. And even then, to be honest, I don't think about chorizo that much now. But man, this half bacon, half beef, gotta try that once.
At least
apparently
once.
It's mixed up, so it's not it's not gross.
Apparently, this 50-50 burger is at Slater's.
Yes,
in
that is
San
correct.
Diego. Yeah.
That is what they said.
Slater's. It's called a 50-50 burger, and you can there's all kinds of recipes you can make it. Some of the guys that I follow, the barbecue pit boys, they have their recipe of the 50-50 burger.
How many pounds of bacon does it take? How much bacon do I need to go? Because it's like if I have a quarter pounder, then that means I need 1/8 of a pound of bacon. So that's what is that? 4 slices, 8 slices to make the patty right. I could do this at home.
I'm trying to look it up now. I'm trying to find out how much it.
The recipes are out there if you really want to try and find the best one for you.
Yeah.
I just assume let somebody else make it for me.
Yeah, that's fair.
Big George
I'm
says,
just saying.
Jeffrey, you were in San Diego and you didn't come visit me? I see how it is. Dude, this was 2016. You were not there in 2016. And I also don't tend to make house calls to listeners.
No matter how much we like them.
Although George is probably the only one that has the ability to send me a Christmas card. We did enjoy your Christmas card this year, George. Had that up with the rest of the Christmas cards. Confused anybody who saw them.
As did we.
Like, who the hell is this giant guy? Is that your brother? Who is this?
So apparently it's 50% ground bacon, and
Yes.
it doesn't say how much bacon it is.
Does it say how big the patty is? Quarter pounder, third pound?
I'm looking for that right now. Trying to. It's 1 pound, 90% ground beef, 1 pound bacon. There you go.
What?
Does that help you? 1 pound ground beef.
Is a
1
2 pound
bacon.
burger?
Apparently.
Yeah,
I'm
apparently.
going to have to make my own. I ain't eating a 2 pound.
At least according to this recipe. Now, I don't know if the actual one from Slater's is like that. This recipe has that, though.
People are weird. Probably they're making more than one burger with that, right? I mean, I'll do a 3rd pound burger.
Yeah, I mean, you're being very optimistic. If you're
I
going to
do
go
a
out of your way to
half-pound burger.
eat bacon,
Yeah.
you already don't care about the consequences of anything. Yeah, I'll eat 2
Yeah.
pounds of burger, sure.
Well, I also, it's just, I'm not.
You just can't fit all of that inside of you. Yeah, it's just like all of that burger. How does that get in your stomach and actually stay there? I don't know if it can do that.
Yeah, I think I'll figure out how to do this. I'll figure out how to do this, and I'll do like
I'm going.
tops a 3rd pound.
I'm going.
If I can go, I'll go. I mean, that's San Diego. Unless there's more Slater's 50-50s around. You're gonna.
No. I mean,
Slater's
the next time I'm around there, like sometimes my girlfriend likes to go out there. So
Oh,
next time we're out, I'm going.
you can't eat one before I do.
I don't.
You
I don't.
sound fair.
I don't know if I'll be out there before you. I have no idea. It's not like we have plans.
You gotta say that
Yes.
it's okay. Look, Slater's offers 1 pound, 2/3 of a pound, and 1/3 of a pound.
Yeah, I think I just eat the third.
Eat
of a
the third
pound.
pound probably seems better.
Probably that. That's fine to try.
I could go. I could go half. I could go half. But
It's $18.50 for one burger.
that makes sense.
I think I'm just gonna make them here at the house. Because I got bacon, I got beef,
And then you could put thick cut bacon on it for $3 extra.
Why would you do
Why,
that?
see, now you're just being ridiculous if you do that.
And then
If-
some bacon jam for $2 more.
You're being even more ridiculous. The levels of ridiculosity are just off the charts at this point.
Randy, I'm sorry, Lost Toby says there's multiple Slater's 50-50 locations in Cali. Well, that doesn't do me any good. I'm not in California.
Well, San Diego's the place I usually go if I go.
Yeah.
So
San Diego. Moist, so you've been there?
not to
Slater's
Slater's,
50? Oh,
not
okay.
to Slater's, but
Moist one says peanut butter pickled bacon burger. I've made those. I've made those here at the house. Taco Kenny says chorizo's good with beans, potatoes, burritos. Best chorizo you'll buy ever is at Food City. I get it. Just not allowed to have it, I guess.
I have breaking news here.
Break that news, Randy.
This is breaking
Just coming across the line here at about 10 seconds ago from the National Football League, as of 5:35 this afternoon, they have moved the wild card game from SoFi Stadium to State Farm Stadium, the home of the Cardinals.
It is official.
Tickets go on sale at 10 a.m. Friday morning.
Oh, I should text Ralph because he says he was going to go to this.
And there you go.
to go see his other team. Yeah.
Right.
It's official.
Oh, now I don't have to because the tickets aren't even on sale yet. So there's no rush to tell them about this. So, all right. So there you go. That is it. It's official. Hey, here's some officially good news. I mean, it's not breaking news, but it's officially good. I guess Jalen Hurts practiced and his teammate said that he looked sharp. He's good to go. So I don't know if he has passed the literal, actual, official protocol.
I don't think so. The last I read, he did practice, but he hasn't yet been cleared from the protocol. But that's
But if
obviously
he's sharp in the practice, probably going to pass the protocol.
you'd think so.
They said he experienced no concussion symptoms after practice. If he did, then that should be Well, that should be, you're on the right path, man.
Yeah.
So
he it seems like he'll likely play, which is, when they waived Ian Book yesterday, like you said, that's a really good sign.
Heavy Metal Maniac says, heck yeah, ice cold beer hip. So seriously, Heavy Metal Maniac, do you get a call? Like they're like, hey, you're up. Let's do this. Let's go make some money. I'm just curious about that. Lost Toby says, oh, I've been there to Slater's. Burgers are top tier. They also have a couple locations in Vegas. Good to know. Good to know. I don't know when next time I'm going to be in San Diego is. I also don't know if my wife will ever allow me to do that with bacon, and but I want to. I'm going to go talk to her right now. Heavy Metal Maniac says, I was sent a text today by my boss saying that the game might be moved. So I guess they're already prepared for it. He says, I'm ready to work it. I'm prepared.
Remember
friend.
When we first went on the air and I said my insiders told me a lot of blue and gold paint.
You don't have any insiders. You're full of crap.
I guess now you guys feel like you've got a real insider now, don't you? You can ask me anytime. It's all right, guys. I'm here for you,
They
fellas.
serve spaghetti with the 50-50 bacon meatballs. I might
You're so full of crap, Randy.
Might need multiple trips.
You're massively full of crap. Do you need to go take a poo? Because you are full of it.
I took a poo before I went on the air today.
Yeah. And you presented it to us with this whole I got insiders thing.
I told you. My sources told me.
The only thing is inside is you and me and Keon. And we're inside. We're indoors. That's the only way we're insiders.
I guess now you feel differently about me, don't you?
No.
30 years I've been trying to tell you this. And now it's finally come to pass, hasn't it, Jeffco?
No, you don't have any insiders. 0% insiders.
You believe me, don't you, Jeffco?
No.
Yep.
No.
Yep.
Hey, listen, I can't be distracted with this. I got to go ask my wife if I can make this 50-50 burger. All right. So we're going to take a break. We'll be back. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Paid for by Christian Care Ministry.
So right now may be the perfect time for you to rethink how you pay for health care. And here's why. This time of year is decision time for a lot of people, but it's also when you can join MediShare and save even more than usual. For many families, joining MediShare means saving about $500 a month, which is a game changer for a lot of people, obviously. But what's more, MediShare members like it a lot. Their satisfaction rate is 98%. Imagine that. And MediShare is a proven thing, too, for over 30 years. It's a Christian community of hundreds of thousands of people now. And here's the thing. If you join before January 15th and you use the promo code SHARE, they'll waive your application fee. So you save even more right off the bat. I'll give you the number here in a second, but just call and you'll get a price within 2 minutes. And again, the deadline is January 15th. So call now and you'll save even more. Here's the number, 855-51-BIBLE. That's 855-51-BIBLE, 855-51-BIBLE.